I'm not ready.
Hello, and welcome to the Infinity Bros podcast, the only podcast that's perfectly balanced, as all things should be. My name is Isaac Edlin. I am your host. We have all 6 Infinity Bros here tonight to celebrate our StanLee Award 100th episode. This is wild. I cannot believe we're at 100 episodes, guys. So, immediately to my left, we have Mark Jones. Mark, how are you doing today?
You're to my right. I was thrown off.
Oh,
I'm doing great. It might be cold in my house, but I made it. The show must go on.
there you go. And then we have Max Mosier. How are you doing, Max?
Isaac, thank you for having me on. Not host this episode, but be to the left of Mark and on top of Robbie.
This dream scenario.
Then
Drinks the smallest Coke can ever.
we have
I feel like a giant when I drink these Coke.
next up we have Robbie Sauter,
It's like Andre the Giant with the
the
Coke.
one and only. Robbie?
Hi everyone, how you doing? Happy to be here. Happy that you're all here hanging out with us. Really excited to have Zane on the pod for once. I think it's going to be an awesome show.
Yes, agreed. Next up, Jarrett Curtis.
Hey guys, I'm so excited that I can be here for another Stan Lee's to talk about the superiority of Thor: The Dark World. So
It's
thanks
coming
once
back.
again for having me.
It's coming back. Then we have, to finish it off, Zane Ellis.
Hello, happy to be here just because Jarrett's here and I think he's a gorgeous man.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Absolutely correct.
Not Robbie though, just Jarrett.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I do appreciate how handsome Robbie is. How handsome all of you are. You all look amazing tonight, and even you, Mark, even you. And
Even
I'm excited.
with my mustache accident where I shaved it.
You shaved
I
Yeah,
know.
can you explain that? Because I've been
You know,
curious
It
about
was
that.
so good.
Sometimes my mustache got too long where it was over my lips, so like anytime I would eat, I'd get mustache in my mouth. And you know how you guys like, Max.
Yeah,
you
I
hate
get that.
I get that.
Yeah, Max gets it. Max, tell us about it.
So I'm like shaving, and like you do something, like you hear something, you like move, and like I shaved too
Yeah.
much, and I was like, oh crap. So then now I have this amazing cool chin beard that only cool people have. Only
Right.
cool people have chin beards, just FYI.
I'm gonna go shave my mustache right now.
I don't
As you should.
know if that's
You
an
won't.
accurate statement.
So
Right.
now I'm stuck with this. I had to shave my cheeks so like it looked uniform.
So that's what I did in high school because I couldn't grow a good mustache, so I just shaved it all off and had like the little
Same, the chin
Amish
strap,
beard
yeah.
going on. And
Yeah.
I look back at those pictures and I really regret what I did in high school. So
I have
Well,
to
guys-
stick to my off-brand Green Arrow cosplay. Otherwise, it won't
that's
work.
actually kind of spot on. I never was
great.
able to pinpoint what Jarrett Curtis facial hair looks like, but that's pretty much what it is. Like wish.com Green Arrow, basically.
Garrett's going with Sid from Toy Story turned into an edgy librarian tonight.
Yep.
Adult Sid from Toy Story.
Great value Sid / librarian.
Whose uncle is Fandral from the Thor's Mighty Heroes.
Good one, Zane. That was awesome. Thanks
That
for
was-
that joke.
that
We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
Well,
Zane,
guys,
you're
we
so
have an amazing show for you tonight. We have tons of giveaways. We have oh my gosh, Holly just redeemed.
I got it. You don't worry about it. I'll just do it.
Robbie will do all the push-ups for tonight, so I'll keep talking. Robbie's going to do push-ups. It's going to be a great time. We're going to talk about our top 6. Okay, we've got a little bit of a change to the schedule. Our top 6 TV shows from 2021, top 6 movies from 2021, and our top 6 Infinity Gems. So Infinity Gems are pretty much anything that we thought was pretty cool during the year 2021. Just that hidden gem that we were just able to pick out of the year that was 2021. So apologies if we do not get around to chatting back. We're going to be trying to whip through a lot of these and keep it moving. So we'll try to address the chat as much as we can, but it probably will be minimal chat interaction. Robbie will be typing away to try to keep up with everybody. But welcome, Infinity Bros Universe. Thank you so much for being here. We're floored that you have made us a part of your podcast rotation and now a part of your night tonight. So it's going to be
And if you're
blast.
listening Sorry, Isaac, I'm cutting
No,
you off
you're
real quick.
good.
If you're listening to this on our podcast platforms, just know that we're not going to edit it. So we are going to talk over each other. We're apologizing ahead of time for that. So know that the format is going to be like a Twitch stream. And if we talk to random people that are saying something, we will give you the context of it. So we'll say, like, for instance, if Scott Higa says something like, "Hey, I'm in love with Max. Please, Max, love me back." I'll say, "Hey, Scott said this." Mark will be jealous. And then I'll say, "No, Scott, I don't love you as much as you love me. I'm married. Please leave me alone." So we'll do that this podcast.
And then we'll
just make sure you're familiar
send
with that.
Scott a personal message after the fact to say he does love him.
Yeah, that's a great example, Max. I'm glad you came up with that.
Yeah.
Great.
We just want to make sure that our listeners knew that.
Robbie, oh geez. This could
We're
get
to
bad,
tally up
Robbie.
the
This
push-ups.
could
Oh,
get
boy.
bad.
They're 5 apiece, right?
Yeah, they're 5 apiece.
Okay.
Some
wait,
people
okay.
have a lot of points, so this could get pretty tough. But Robbie is the real MVP of the Infinity Bros.
I mean, it's just a
The
workout.
he's the power stone over there.
Okay, we're gonna have to. The Infinity Bros can't redeem push-ups. Stop that.
All right, that's it. No more push-ups for tonight. That's it. Robbie did all of them. So, all right, guys, what do you guys think we should? Oh, first of all, we should start off. We have a ton of giveaways for tonight, so we're gonna be throughout the night doing giveaways with both a trivia question in chat or just a random like you type in exclamation ticket in chat and it'll get it all ready to go. So make sure that you guys are paying attention and type in chat as fast as possible so you can get entered in those giveaways. So Mark, why don't we do one right now? Let's start off the stream with a giveaway.
All right, we're going to do it for those Star Wars Funkos that were given away.
Ooh,
And the
yeah,
first
buddy.
question for the Star Wars Funkos is, was Boba Fett ever mentioned by name in the original version of Empire Strikes Back? Yes or no?
Good morning, guys. Showing up first on my line.
But
Are we going by
correct.
first? Are we going by first, or are we going by?
I'd say
They're
first,
just all
right?
entered.
I mean, it's
Okay.
up to
I
you.
didn't know if they were-
I'll let you run the giveaways, Mark.
We'll do
but-
first.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, or we could just put them all into a bag and then draw later after the
That
fact.
would take a lot.
Ooh,
We're
I
gonna be
like the
doing
draw out of a
lot- We're gonna be
bag.
doing a lot
Alright.
of giveaways though, so that would be tough.
I mean, we
feel
could
like.
A lot of bags.
Isaac, don't we have the giveaway thing set up? Why don't we just do it that way, where they can type
We
in?
could do
or
that
not have
too. Mark wanted to do the trivia though.
Oh,
that's why, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, then we can do
No,
first.
I'm good with trivia. Trivia is cool. All right, first then.
All right.
All right, so who is first? Who we got?
Good morning, guys. Podcast. Or the Good morning, guys.
guys.
And the answer was no in the original
Congratulations.
version.
They said no. Yeah.
I had to say original version because the newer versions on Blu-ray, they do name him.
Really?
Is what I
Oh,
read.
really?
So I could be wrong. Yeah, because
Did
I
not
was
know
like,
that.
I don't want the same thing that happened last year where someone then blew up that the answer was not correct, if everyone remembers that.
We don't need to get well actually'd here.
Well, actually.
Yeah, Zane, where were you on that
Zane
one?
is with us, so we probably
Okay,
will be
well-
several times throughout this podcast.
I'm not Jarrett, okay?
Wow.
Well, actually.
The fighting has started.
All right. So, congratulations. Good morning, guys. You have won the first giveaway of our 100th episode live stream.
Is somebody tracking these giveaways?
I'm tracking them. I'm writing them all down.
I-
So we
Okay,
I
can-
wrote
just want to
it
make
Oh,
sure.
you wrote it down too? Perfect. Okay.
So we're both doing it. So yeah.
Dope.
Great. Okay, so good morning, guys. Congrats. Nice work. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dive right into either our TV shows, movies. Let's do Infinity Gems last just because that one's so vague.
Yeah.
Which one do you guys want to do? Maybe type in chat what you guys want to do first. Movies or TV shows for 2021?
Do TV.
I would say TV.
I think TV is a good list. We had a ton of great.
Chat
You get
throws
a lot of good TV.
Chat throws us through a loop and says, like, top 6 favorite dance moves created in 2021.
All right, Zane, top 6
Top-
favorite dance moves, go.
The sprinkler and end of list.
Can you? Oh, no.
That created in 2021, not moves you did in 2021.
Didn't specify. Didn't specify.
Great
I'm
list,
going
Zane. Well
rogue.
done.
Call me Robbie. I'm going rogue.
What up?
I'm shocked that you didn't do the
Video games.
Macarena.
I think we got a couple TVs in there. Are you tracking the chat there, Robbie? Do you have a TV? I think.
Yeah, everyone's saying TV. We're doing TV.
Okay. All right. Let's do TV first then.
Fox said
what we're
video
gonna
games.
do is, yeah. I mean, we thought about it, but we're all, well, most of us are dads of small children, so we don't play a lot of video games anymore, unfortunately. So we kind of added that into our conglomerate Infinity Gems segment a little bit later. So we're gonna do TV shows first. Top 6 TV shows of 2021. So how we're going to do this is we're going to rank each of the number 6s get 1 point, number 5s get 2 points, so on and so forth, and we'll tally them up. The number 1 show that has the most points will get our StanLee Award for the top TV show of 2021. So we'll just go around the circle. Max, why don't you go ahead and go first with your number 6 TV show of 2021.
Okay, I will mention my honorable mentions real quick as well. Just very briefly, I won't say much.
And then gives us a list of honorable mentions.
Can I just say TV? My
Go
TV
ahead.
show
I don't know why you're.
We're not supposed to talk over one another because it's a podcast too, Mark.
Yeah, and then you started talking, so I don't get it.
I'm not gonna say anything past this. Dave, Atlanta, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I know Atlanta didn't come out in 2021, but I watched it this year, so it's going on my list. Those are the 3 honorable mentions on my list. Robbie, don't look at me like that. You did that with The Office last year.
We decided
you're the reason
we decided like a month ago that we were only doing 2021.
This discussion a lot.
We had this it was literally 4 days ago.
That's like a month when you have
All right, what's your 6?
Number 6, it was like a month ago. We were on a break. Number 6 is the show Evil on CBS. I'm going to give this one my number 6 because I think it's a gutsy show. I didn't agree with every choice they made. I actually thought the show was not as good as some other shows I would shoot for in the context of what I wanted to see from the storytelling, but there's no show like it. It is a very, very crazy show. I sometimes don't know what they're doing in the context of how they're pulling it off. I think Mark's the only person that watches the show. You can watch this on Paramount Plus, so number 6 for me is Evil.
All right. I have not seen that one yet, so I can't comment on it. But Mark, go ahead with your number 6.
My number 6 was an Amazon Prime show, and it was Invincible.
Ooh, nice.
Yes.
Very good choice. Very good choice. No other comments? You just
I can't wait for season 2.
Agreed.
That's what I want. I got the got the graphic novel, and I read to a point, and it's like I gotta stop. I want to be surprised in the TV show.
Yeah, and it's wild. Like that's
Even though
one
I
of
could
the
figure it
best.
out, yeah.
I feel like that's one of the best adaptations of a comic book into a TV show that we've seen ever. The art is like spot on from the comic book, which is awesome. So, agreed. Good one. My number 6 is Loki. We had a lot of good MCU shows, and unfortunately I could not put as many as I wanted on my list. So Loki is a fantastic show, and I'm excited for season 2. That's number 6 for me. So Zane, go ahead with yours.
All right, my number 6 is also Loki.
Nice.
So I'm excited to see what happens from there on, and so it's number 6 for me.
All right, Jarrett.
My number 6, and probably the only one that I can watch on here with my kids, is Bad Batch. I thought it was an awesome continuation of the Star Wars story, and I'm a personal fan of the Clone Wars and Rebels, so it was nice to see the tie-ins there. Fantastic TV series.
Yeah, I have to say I had to leave Bad Batch off my list, and I was really, really sad about that. It would be the next one that would be on my list, but
for all the fans at home, yes, Blue is on my honorable mentions.
Yes. Oh my
Attaboy.
gosh, Blue is so good. So good. All right, Robbie, you were rounding off the list of the top
Okay.
six, number 6 on your list.
All right, I will also do a max and do some honorable mentions. I want to give Star Wars Visions an honorable mention. They were kind of up and down with some of their episodes, but I really enjoyed them. WandaVision is going to be on the honorable mention list. Sorry, Max. I know you don't like that show. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier is also going to be on the honorable mention list. My number 6 is the What If show.
Wow.
I really enjoyed the What If show. It was out of a lot of the Disney shows, I didn't think it was going to be the one that I was excited to see every week, but that was the one that I was like, oh, they have something different. I'm really interested to see what they do this week. So What If is my number 6.
Good choice. All right, Max, we're moving on to number 5. What do you got for number 5? Max?
There we go. Got to hit the mute button. Sorry.
Oh, right.
There we go. I'm also
back.
doing it on my. I'm doing the chat on my phone. So
Welcome to the Infinity Bros podcast, where we can't go a stream without having some kind of audio technical difficulties.
I should have turned my stream avatars on.
All right.
Max totally gets that joke.
What a bit. Now I'll get it. Now that
He
you
doesn't have enough. He
Hit
doesn't
my
have a
stream
vibe.
game.
That he's
He doesn't know what stream avatars.
All
My
right.
number 5.
Number
Can I
5.
start?
Yes,
Can I
go for it.
My number 5
Yeah,
is
sure.
Squid Game. This one I would assume is going to be on most people's list this year. I was floored by this. I really enjoyed it. I could not stop watching this show, and like every other show on my list, that's pretty much my whole top 5. I couldn't stop watching them. The only reason I put this below the other ones is because I'm not the biggest fan of gore, so that was a huge part of this. But it was very jarring, and it did its job. And this show is remarkable. So I'm really looking forward to season 2. So Squid Game for me.
Yeah, great choice. Mark, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is also Squid Game. It's
Ooh,
like
there
it's
we
like
go.
Max peeked at my list and had to copy it almost.
Unbelievable.
I also found it fascinating. It was like a new toy in the toy box or shows. Just something crazy and unique.
Agreed. Yeah. And with so many shows being like remade and rehashed, I feel like it's nice to get a fresh show that like, I mean, takes some, I mean, it takes some ideas from other places, but it was just kind of like a refreshing.
Dude, it was its own thing. Like I know it's copying this like post-apocalyptic game style show, but it did such unique things, and very rarely do I have any vested interest in a show that I'm going to not be able to match up the English with the words that are being spoken. It didn't even bother me in the slightest watching this. Season 2, I hope, is very good. My fear is that they're just going to make something that is not that doesn't have to do with the story that the creator took years and years to make.
Yeah.
Had like season 3 of Westworld.
That's a perfect example.
Yeah.
You're hitting another sore spot.
You had
for
this
Max.
you had this gem, and then you had this
Bad.
other thing that you just threw
Yeah.
against the wall and it didn't stick. Just-
Exactly. I mean,
a dry noodle.
Westworld's a huge disappointment. I'm hoping they can
Dry
turn that
noodle.
around next season too.
It's done.
All right. My number 5 is Hawkeye. Love this show. That's actually my highest rated MCU show on my list. So,
Oh.
well, actually, okay. I
my.
misspoke. Disney Plus MCU show. So, yeah, it is a great show. I love the comic, accuracies and kind of adapting it to the MCU that we had. Jeremy Renner was fantastic. Haley Steinfeld was amazing, and I'm excited to see where she's going next in the MCU. So, Hawkeye is my number 5. Go ahead, Zane, with your number 5.
All right, my number 5, a little bit of a curveball. I don't know if anyone else is going to have this on their list, but number 5 for me is actually Hit Monkey.
Yes,
I
dude. Hit
Went into
Monkey.
that show not knowing what to expect
Okay.
and was very much blown away.
Hit Monkey might be the most underrated show of 2021.
Yes, that's why I'm like, I have to put it on my list
It's fantastic.
because it's a wild ride.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, we got a Hit Monkey for number 5. Go ahead, Jarrett, with your number 5.
My number 5, I actually watched in the basement of Max's house.
Oh.
It is Loki. This series surprised me
Oh my!
as someone who loves Loki in the comics. I wasn't entirely sure where they were going with this, and I think it did interesting things, not just with Loki as a character, but also the overall Marvel universe. Obviously, did a big job kicking us off into Phase 4. I loved this series. Fantastic. It is not, shocker, the only MCU TV series on the list, but it was definitely fantastic.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Robbie, round us out with your top 5. Number 5.
I really struggled with this one. It was kind of a toss-up between Squid Game and Sweet Tooth, but I think I'm going to go with my initial gut that came to my mind. So Sweet Tooth is my number 5, and they kind of pushed Squid Game off my list, I think, actually.
That's unfortunate that Squid Game's not on your list, but I think Sweet Tooth is another one that's kind of like underrated for 2020.
Sweet Tooth is very underrated, but like
it didn't get hype. It didn't get hype.
It just didn't get the hype.
Right.
It was so well done though, and I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people missed it though, unfortunately.
Having no idea what Sweet Tooth was before watching that on Netflix, I like loved the whole concept, but like majority of the show, I wanted the Sweet Tooth to actually die. Like I was just like, just kill this kid, just let him die. He's so annoying to me. That's how I felt. That's inside.
Okay. Alrighty then.
Like putting himself in just terrible situations. I'm just like, oh,
True.
just let him get captured.
Yeah.
And then you know what happens.
Or do we?
Or you don't.
Or don't. I don't know.
Or a lot
Or
of
you
people
don't.
haven't watched that show.
Or someone gets shot with a
so.
50 cal sniper, no blood spatters on the plane. You know, whatever.
All right. We're heading to our number 4. Max, you're up with your number 4.
Unless Mark puts this on the list, I'm not expecting this one to get talked about. So I'm going to shift over to Apple TV real quick and talked about the morning show. This season was so interesting to me on how they were going to try to pull this one off because of what happened with COVID. And I really, really thought that they crushed this season a lot. The creators are Jay Carson and Carrie Aaron, and I don't think they're getting nearly enough credit. Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon, Billy Crudup. This show is just awesome. I really, really love this show. It takes some real-time stories that are happening in the world and plugs it into the drama of this morning show. And it talks about some really, really interesting things that are happening in the world today from multiple perspectives. And I think it handles it and balances it really, really well. So this is a really good show from my perspective. I don't know if Mark's going to put it on the list. Maybe he'll talk about it a little more, but I just want to praise that song, praise the song of this show. I really think this show is good. I'm really looking forward to season 3. And I thought how they handled COVID was great too, because that was a big hurdle for them. So yeah. Good morning show.
Before you start with yours, Mark, I would like to comment. If we were doing last year, 2020, I would have put morning show on my list, but I didn't watch that until this year. Because that first season is incredible. I don't think the second season is as good to me. I didn't enjoy it quite as much as the first season, but it was on my bubble of my list too. So
see, and I would have agreed with you, and this is kind of me plugging the show. There's a certain character that has a certain thing happen to them at the end of the second season that changes my mind, and the reaction to what happens to that character and what the people around that character or away from that character from afar feel really, really sums up what the show does well. So that was the reason it made its way in there.
Yeah, I gotcha. It definitely deserves to be on somebody's list because the production in those Apple Plus shows are amazing. Like it's a great, very quality show.
Star-studded cast.
Star-studded.
No Keanu Reeves, but star-studded.
Yeah, star-studded for sure. All right, Mark, go ahead with your number 4.
I do have an Apple Plus series on my list. It is not The Morning Show, which is a good show, so go watch it. It would be if I had an honorable mentions list, it would be on it. My number 4 though is The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, nice.
I loved that we got 2 of the best Captain Americas to ever appear on screen.
Oh, gosh.
And it tells a great social commentary on top of that.
Yeah. Social commentary was great. No, I want to punch John Walker in the face the whole time I'm watching that show, though.
Why?
So.
Max has a shield of him.
Yeah, Max has his shield.
Max does have John Walker's shield. Confirmed.
Confirmed. Yep. That was a great show, though. Yeah, I'm with you.
It was such a good bit, Zane. You got me so good on that, Zane.
Right.
You joshed me so hard on that.
My number 4 of TV shows is Hit Monkey. Zane. Yes. I absolutely love the show, and I went in not expecting. I thought, okay, I don't know if any of you guys watched MODOK on Hulu.
I did. Also, honorable mention if I had a list.
I would absolutely not put MODOK anywhere near my list. I thought it was trash. It was funny.
Hilarious.
It was funny. It was hilarious. But like, it just, I don't know, dude. It just was like, Marvel was just like, all right, let's try out this claymation thing. And I felt like you mentioned they were throwing stuff against the wall earlier, and that's what I felt like they were doing with this. They're like, let's just make this show
the whole
funny.
bit with the show. Yeah,
It's
that was
just-
the whole bit
yeah.
though.
I mean, it was funny. It was. I will say it was funny, but didn't do it for me. So I kind of was expecting that going into Hitmonkey. I was like, this is probably not going to be an awesome show, but this show is amazing, fantastic. Jason Sudeikis is great in this show. Was not expected. This is, again, I think my underrated show of 2021. I would recommend all of you get. There is a ton. It's like Invincible level violence. There's a lot of animated gore. But if you guys are fine with that, I think this show is amazing. You
And
definitely
Monkeys
need
on
to-
Hulu.
It's
Yeah, I
it's
was
on
gonna
Hulu. Yep.
Oh.
It's on Hulu. So if you
I'll
have
try
Hulu,
that out.
you can check that out. It's
Like
great
literally
show.
never heard of it until right now, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking like, all right,
Dude,
if
it's
Zane says it's cool
fantastic.
and Isaac says it's cool, I gotta watch it.
It's
It's
yeah.
I'll
good.
watch
Be
the whole
decent.
thing because that's what friends do.
Well, if
That's what friends
Scott
do.
tells
That's
me
what
to watch
friends
it,
do.
if Scott tells me to watch it, then I might watch it.
But not Mark. No. Of course not. All right,
Oh.
Zane.
Teach his own.
Number 4 for you.
All right, my number 4 is Invincible.
Yeah.
Doesn't really need much more explanation there. Great show. Can't wait for season 2 and to get more development there.
Absolutely. Jarrett, number 4.
My number 4 is also Invincible.
Yeah.
Again, nothing else needs to be stated. I will say, just as a side note, can we talk about how phenomenal that cast is?
Oh,
Like,
dude, yeah.
Really, the who's who. I mean, just knocked it out of the park.
I like how
Fantastic series.
the original group, I forget the group's name, was like star-studded, and then they just killed them all. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Spoiler
Fantastic.
alert.
Wow.
Whatever.
I mean, it is like 8 months old at this point, I think. So
Yeah.
you probably should have
That's
watched
like
it.
4 years in 2020 time.
I'm just doing it for the chat, you know. You never
Not
know.
wrong.
Yeah, dude, right. LJ just said 2021 was a great year for TV. Absolutely. Like, there's so many good shows, and there's some that haven't even been mentioned yet. So, all right, Jarrett. Oh, wait, you just mentioned yours. Okay, Robbie, you're number 4.
My number 4 is Hawkeye. I really, really enjoyed Hawkeye. I think they did a lot of good storytelling, especially with Clinton Barton kind of dealing with his past, which is something I've really been wanting the MCU to do, is kind of dealing with the depth that really goes into these characters, especially when they do like straight up murder people, because that kind of gets glossed over a lot in the MCU. So it was enjoyable for them to actually like deal with that a little bit, and I it was refreshing in that aspect, and that's what made me really enjoy it.
Until they go ahead and just murder half of the dude bros in the last episode, and nobody talks about that either.
Well, if they're in tracksuits, it's okay. Like,
No,
Gotcha.
if they encamp and enslave an entire city for them to cathartically work through something, then it's totally fine if it doesn't have any consequences for Robbie.
Yes.
But if
yes.
somebody kills
Right.
somebody on another planet for a stone, then we gotta have consequences. Yeah. Read a book, Robbie.
Come on.
Hey, Max,
I'm
touch
confused.
grass.
I'm confused of why I'm being attacked, but okay.
Get
You
You were
praised
chosen in the
WandaVision earlier.
lottery
That's why
before
you're
the
being
show.
attacked. That's why you're being
I put it on
attacked.
my honorable mention. Okay,
No, shouldn't have been on there. Shouldn't have been on there. And I'm a little nervous that it's going to be on somebody's top 3.
Oh, just you wait.
Well, let's
Oh,
find
wow.
out. Top
Okay.
3, guys. Here we go. Max, go ahead
Drum
with your
roll.
number 3.
Number 3 is Invincible, and the only thing I'll add to what's been said is this show blew me away from like the artistic animation is not really like incredible. It's kind of low budget in the context of other cartoons you watch, but it didn't matter. This show is great. Comics great. It's a great show. I cannot wait.
It's called
for season
anime.
Well, what's great is one of the podcasts I listened to that had Kirkman on, and he talked about like them storyboarding and like doing stuff, and they're like, Amazon's gonna let us do this. All right, let's just keep doing all the gory stuff we can until they tell us not to do it.
I mean,
and then
Amazon did
he's
The
like,
Boys,
they
so
let us
I
do
don't
it
think
all.
they have
Yeah.
quite as much of a filter as other services, probably.
Yeah, this show was bananas, and it forced me to read an Invincible comic book. Great job,
Yeah,
and
Yeah, same.
great show.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Mark, number 3.
My number 3 has already been named by the person over here, and it is Evil. Is my number 3
All right.
from CBS Paramount Plus.
Can you tell
I
me
love-
why, Mark? Can I know why you put it so high? Because you and I talked about season 2, and
Yeah,
I don't feel like season 2 is as strong as season 1. But what stuck out to you?
I agree, but I still think it was very solid. Like, it'd be like a 1A, 1B type of thing. I love Evil so much because I grew up in the Catholic Church. So some of the stuff they go over, I'm like, that is actually real things that get talked about. So like, that's what I was drawn to, and the whole like, exorcism aspect of it is just something that like I still get like drawn to and like super interested in. So it's like, and then the actual devil like trying to insert its way into like people's lives and them trying, basically it's a Ghostbusters in real life type of show. So that's why I feel.
I don't think there's a show doing what that show's doing.
Exactly.
Right now.
And it seems so accurate to me in both the Christian faith and the Catholic world and the real world. And it's like, and then a social commentary on top of all that. So
Yeah, and Katya Herbers and Mike Coulter in particular is unbelievable.
What?
who else is he? What else has he done?
He's
Luke Cage.
Luke Cage.
There it is.
There it is, yeah.
Ah.
No, I
And wait for him to come back to the MCU.
I think he's so good in this, and he is such a like. This is a show with so many flawed and pun intended evil characters that Mike Coulter is such a breath of fresh air in this show.
Mm-hmm.
It is such a weird show, and there are episodes that do not hit at all. That are just like I would argue they're
and
flops.
that's what I love about Evil though, is there's some storylines where like you get like super crazy and never mentioned again. It's just like it's forgotten
what's going
about.
on here. Yeah,
But it's like, are they?
I would
is there
recommend the
so
show.
much stuff going on in there. Yeah. Anyways, I'm getting too deep into the show. I love it. So
we're not
go
going to
watch
talk about it anymore the rest of the episode, so that's why I had to ask those questions.
Yeah.
I was like, it's so bananas. Zane, this is a show for you. Evil is a show for you. This is for the guy who loves all the crackpot theories and all this stuff. This is your show. This show is made for you, man.
It sounds kind of spooky.
Right
Well,
up
then
your
don't watch
alley.
it.
Spooky.
Then grow up. I get
I
told to
don't
grow
know.
up all the time when
Grow
I
up.
get say things are spooky. So grow up.
Just grow up, Zane. All right, my
Like,
number
spooky,
3
whatever.
is Squid Game. I think that was one of the most well produced shows of this year, and I watched it subbed. I didn't watch it dubbed because I watched like one episode dubbed and I was like, man, I don't know, it's just like not doing it for me. But watching it in Korean was actually way better than I thought it was going to be. I was like, wow, this is like so cool to like be immersed in this. And it, like you guys have already mentioned, it just like drew you in and it was hard to stop watching it. Like, I think I watched it over the course of 4 to 5 days or something like that. And it was hard to not just start the next episode because like they did a great job with cliffhangers. And it was, again, we kind of have somewhat of the concept of this with like kind of the Hunger Games battle royale stuff that's been going on, but like it was I don't know, it was a fresh breath of fresh air, I think. So Squid Games is my number 3. Zane, go for it.
My number 3 is also Squid Game.
Dang, bro.
Yep, for all the reasons mentioned, and even still, like, it's 2021. If you can't watch like subtitles and follow what's going on, like, grow up, bro. Grow up.
I watched it dubbed and with subtitles. Does that count?
Ooh, look at you.
Look at you. I'm
Wow.
proud of you. I'm proud of you,
You're
Mark.
so cool, Mark.
You're hip and with it, Mark.
Yeah.
At the same time, Mark. At the same time,
At the same time, bro.
you had them going on 2 screens.
2 screens. Couldn't get enough.
That's thorough.
You watched on one screen. You watched it backwards. The other screen, you watched it the correct way.
Well, I'm not that crazy,
They
bro.
collided.
Smoking weed or something.
I love it. 2 screen, Mark.
And then I had Pink Floyd play in the background. It all matched up and synced up.
Conspiracy man.
Oh man.
Love it.
All right, Jarrett, what's your number 3?
A series that I think maybe all
Maybe
the
be.
Infinity Bros
That's a
slept
Pokemon.
on.
Gen 7.
Arcane.
Maybe be.
Did any of you guys catch this one?
I haven't got around to
Oh
it
my
yet.
gosh. Okay.
I did watch one episode, but I just ran out of time to watch more of it. I just
Do
need
me a
to
favor.
jump back in.
Everybody quit the stream right now.
Okay.
Watch
No,
Arcane.
don't. No, no.
Hi.
This one caught me off guard because I knew with somebody like Riot Games they were going to put money into this and try to make it work as much as possible. What I didn't expect is for it to be as good as it was. I thought it was just going to be like a needless cash grab to try to get people back into League of Legends. What we got was like an actually amazing story. Haley Steinfeld is in this and again delivered a fantastic performance. This was so good, guys. 6 out of 6. Do not sleep on this series.
What was it called again?
Arcane. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I feel like that's one I got to go back to at some point because I never got around to it when the hype was high for it. So, for sure.
Arcane kind of sounds like they use witchcraft, so that's a no for me.
Uh-oh.
Shit.
Continue. Continue.
All right, Robbie, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Loki. I really enjoyed Loki. It had some big hitters there at the end, and I think it means a lot for what the MCU is doing in the future. So, Loki is my number 3.
Wow. All right, top 2 guys. Here we go. Max, lead us off with your number 2.
I'm just gonna pick up right where Robbie left off. Loki at number 2 for me. It's the highest MCU rated show of the year. This show had zero business being the best MCU show until the season finale. It's a perfect foil to WandaVision, and it is just such a delightful show that I cannot wait for season 2. I think this show is just I think Tom Hiddleston is going to be kind of the rallier in this MCU moving forward. Jarrett and I have talked about this on a previous show, but
Dude's a beast.
I think he's going to be the one leading the young Avengers. I think we're going to see these older Avengers die or lose a fight or get taken or Skrulls are going to capture them or something. And
Or secretly invaded.
somebody will be secretly invaded. I think Loki is
maybe
Like,
some secret
like
wars?
there'll be like a secret
a war that is
invasion
secret,
or something.
potentially. You never know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe
It's
there'll
hard
be
to say.
some disassemblement or something.
It's hard to say. So
Yeah, maybe.
I think Tom Hiddleston is the future, and I think if he is the center point of this MCU experiment that they're doing, this season 2 of the MCU, as I'm calling it, I'm A-okay with that because this show ended just how it should end. It was just truly remarkable. Well done to them.
And did very well. You're right about that.
Gosh.
All right, Mark, number 2.
My number 2 is my Apple Plus series show, and it is For All Mankind.
Oh.
That is my number
I
2
did
show.
not
You've
see
touted
that
this show for a
coming.
while.
This
Mark.
show is just right up my alley. It's there's a term for it, but it's basically alternate history, where like the Russians get to the moon first, the first men on the moon are Russians. So then, the US doesn't stop their space race. Then they build a base, then they mine it for like nuclear energy. And in this like season 2, it's like, just the space race is just, turned to 11 for, the world. So I love it. I recommend it. Basically see For All Mankind, The Morning Show, Ted Lasso, all those Apple Plus series shows, top notch.
So
But
good.
For All Mankind's my number 1.
So good. Yeah, they've been knocking out of the park on Apple Plus for sure. So my number 2 is Invincible. I thought this is probably the best comic book TV show like we've ever gotten. Like it's amazing. And I cannot wait. Like you guys already mentioned too, it made me go read the comics because I had heard about it like when the comics came out and I heard they were doing this show, but I mean, we already talked about the voice cast is just wild. It's like if we're talking definitions of star-studded, it's the Invincible voice cast. Like it's wild how many stars there are in that show. But I mean, and they were going for, Max, you mentioned The animation's just like simpler. I mean, they're pretty much going for simpler because it resembles the comics so well. And I thought, yeah, best comic book TV show of the year for sure, and possibly ever. So that's my number 2. Zane, go ahead with yours.
My number 2 is Hawkeye, and
Ooh,
Hawkeye's
getting some love from us.
I very much enjoyed that. The chemistry between Jeremy Renner and Haley Steinfeld was so much fun to watch. And that's definitely a Disney Plus show that I can go back and just burn through repeatedly. Like, I very much enjoyed watching that.
Nice. All right, Jarrett, number 2.
This TV series will come as a shock to nobody, but it will be shocking that it's at number 2 and not number 1. Hawkeye.
Whoa,
There's a movie. There's a TV series I liked more this year than Hawkeye. If you want to know why I love Hawkeye so much, go listen to any podcast episode I've been on for the last 2.5 years now. Hawkeye was fantastic. I could praise it to no end, but it was not my favorite series of 2021.
Now I'm very interested to see what your number 1 is. Wow, crazy. All right, Robbie, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Invincible. It's just so freaking
so
good. From the highs and the lows, you think, like, when you first start that show, you just kind of think it's going to be like your typical, like, coming of age, like, superhero, like, show, basically. And then Omni-Man goes and, like, kills, like, their Justice League, basically. And you're like,
Oh my.
Oh, this is what this is. Like, I didn't look at the ratings when I watched this. It's a good thing I didn't watch this. Like the first 25 minutes, I'm like, I could watch this with Grayson. And then it's like, I can't watch this until like 10:30 at night.
Did you watch that first episode?
No, I did not. I'm so happy I didn't. But
now, jeez.
But goodness, like I was like, this is pretty good. It's enjoyable. And then everyone dies, and there's a lot of gore. And then that just carried throughout the entire series, and it was fantastic. A very solid number 2. I think had something else not come out the last month, it would have been my number 1.
Dang. Yeah, it's getting a lot of love from us on our list for sure. So, all right, guys, here's the moment of truth. The number
Before we do
ones.
a number 1, should we do another giveaway?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
All right.
Giveaway time.
Giveaway time. All right, these are for the Seinfeld Funko Pops.
All right.
Your question is, what?
Can I enter this?
You can.
Are you a big Seinfeld guy?
Love Seinfeld.
Really?
Love Seinfeld.
Oh, I could get you some gifts.
Who does Newman work for?
Oh, Mark, come on. I know the answer.
I know you do.
Oh.
Just let the chat answer.
Hello, Newman.
Who does number 2 work for?
The best episode is the one where Kramer walks in, slaps the money on the table, and goes, "I'm out." You know that episode. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a good episode. I love that one.
It's a brilliant episode.
Brilliant. Like,
great. Yeah.
Expertly done. Great visual effects, too. Like Thor the Dark World.
Some would say that they're like...
They're like the Thor the Dark World series, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have a...
we've got a couple answers.
Is it USPS?
Yeah.
Yes, it is the United States Postal Service.
Matt.
Hey, Matt, let's go.
All right, Matt wins the Funko Pops of Seinfeld. All right.
Anyone else think it's weird that Matt knows everything about everything?
Dude,
I feel like there's not a single corner of
a sitcom aficionado. Like, I expect him to know that one.
Like the dude knows anime, he knows wrestling, knows video games.
He does. You're right.
I'm convinced Matt is just like 3 geniuses in a trench coat.
Well,
like little baby geniuses, and they like
just
stand on each other's shoulders.
Just ask him out.
Like, interesting. I like that.
All right, number 1s, guys. Here we go. Max, hit us with your number 1 TV show for 2021.
This is a landslide to me. Loki's the only thing that comes close because of how Loki ended, but no show, day in, day out, every single episode gives me the joy, satisfaction, and storytelling of Ted Lasso. It is the best show I'm watching right now. I have a very difficult time not saying it's one of the best shows ever made. I really, really enjoy this show. This show is emotional. This show is hysterical, and this show takes risks and makes decisions that shock me. And the way this show ended was just on the same level of emotional par of Loki for me, and how this season ended. I love Ted Lasso, and when this all comes on Blu-ray together in one set, I will buy it the first day it's there. Ted Lasso.
Amen, brother. Amen. All right, Mark, number 1. Let's hear it.
Well, my love for this show has persevered throughout 2021.
Oh my.
And my number 1 is WandaVision, and will forever be my favorite show of 2021.
Wow.
Max, your thoughts?
I will die on that hill and kill anyone that tries to overthrow me on that hill.
Bring it
I can't
on.
wait.
Oh,
Bring it
wow.
on. Hey, we're gonna fight. We're gonna have a fight.
You're a clown.
Between Max
Such a
and
clown.
Mark, and stream it
Oh,
live
wow.
at some point.
You
so.
did that. You did that just for the bit of getting at me. That's literally
No,
why you said
It
that.
is literally
So
my
good.
favorite show of
Let
2021.
the guy like things.
See,
Yeah,
up until
not
the
that
guy
shaming
point,
me
like
for
it.
things
Oh
I
my
like.
God.
He can like what he likes.
Fine. You like it. Fine. He likes it.
Let's not
You
gatekeep
really
really
like-
2022. Okay?
Yeah, as you've been gatekeeping everyone that has Hawkeye on their list. Like,
I haven't even said
loser.
anything. I have said nothing
Your
about people
face
saying Hawkeye.
says enough. Every time someone does Hawkeye, you do that. You literally
Hawkeye,
like
who
look
likes
at the
that
camera and like
series?
roll your eyes.
I was
No.
wondering if we were gonna get.
We need to have an eye roll counter.
So
We need
Alright,
a Max
moving on.
eye roll
Feel
counter.
free
I
to
love
count.
WandaVision.
Hawkeye and
Max hates
WandaVision,
it. Let's go.
I
Max
hate
is
the
over
season
here.
finale of WandaVision.
Max is over here. Mark is Mephisto. Mark is Mephisto.
he knew.
I'm gonna.
I would love-
before we move on, Isaac. I will say this. I'm gonna talk about WandaVision in a later segment we're doing, and I think what I say will actually resonate with some people. So I'll tease that for later in the episode. But I have some thoughts in my Infinity Gem segment that I want to talk about with WandaVision. So.
All right. Interesting.
Little
Okay.
teaser there.
We'll move on. My number 1 is also Ted Lasso. I agree with Max. I think Ted Lasso is the best TV show on TV right now. I think it's the production quality is fantastic. I love Jason Sudeikis. Like, he's one of my favorite actors at this point. It's so wholesome. Like, I just get filled with joy every time I watch this show. And I like season 1 was amazing, fantastic, and season 2 followed it up perfectly. I think it's in my top 3 shows of all time. Depending on how I'm feeling, could be number 1 at like any given time. Like, I absolutely adore Ted Lasso. It's my number 1 by far. Like, yeah, like you said, Max, it's not even a question. It was my
And
number 1.
Isaac, what makes it even crazier is that this show shouldn't have been made. It's like it shouldn't have been made. It
right.
was an SNL sketch. Like, just bravo to Jason Sudeikis and his team.
He's fantastic.
Wait. It was an SNL sketch?
Are you being for real right now?
I've never seen Ted Lasso. I haven't seen
Okay,
it. I
so
don't know
Ted
what you're
Lasso.
talking
Okay,
about.
okay. I'm just making sure you were mocking me. Okay.
No,
So
I would
Ted
love
Lasso
explain it
started
to
as
me.
an SNL
Well,
sketch.
we are,
with,
but you know, he's
well, that's
asking a
fine. That's
serious
okay.
question.
No, we're always making fun of me. Yeah, that's the bit. Ha ha ha.
That's fine. I
So,
just want to
The
know.
Ted Lasso bit comes from a Saturday Night Live sketch, and Jason Sudeikis, after he broke up with Olivia Wilde, needed a cathartic way to handle that breakup because it was very difficult for him. So he wrote Ted Lasso.
Would be for a lot of men.
Yes, it would. So he wrote Ted Lasso, and they actually had to buy the rights from NBC.
Yeah, Scott says
to do it
NBC
on Amazon.
Okay, yeah.
sports sketch when they got the Premier
was.
League. Okay,
Mhm.
gotcha.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I think it's the best show on TV right now. It's just fantastic. So it's my number 1 by a landslide, as with Max. Go ahead, Zane, hit us with your number 1.
All right, so we're gonna deviate a little bit on the Ted Lasso talk here, and
Ooh,
for my number
never
one, I
wanna
know, I'm
deviate
sorry,
from Ted Lasso.
I'm sorry. My number 1 is actually something that just recently slid in, just at the very end here of 2021, is The Witcher. Season 2 was absolutely fantastic. It had me on the edge of my seat. I burned through every episode in one night, and it's wonderful. Give me more. I cannot wait for next season already. Just everything about this show, like, yeah, it's my number 1, and it's It's not really even close.
I need to watch it. I haven't caught the second season yet. I think I was
man.
never a Witcher guy to begin with. I think this first season is fantastic, but the timeline like totally screwed with me. Like I was like thrown off by that in season 1. Does that get fixed in this one or not?
Yeah, it's they do a little bit of jumping, but like they acknowledge that was a huge mistake that they made in season 1. So then they completely are like, yeah, we're not going to do that again. Like even I think Henry Cavill came out and said that that's the big drawback from season 1, and if they could redo it, they would change how the pacing works.
Gotcha.
But season 2 is so much better.
Definitely on my list. So nice. All right, Jarrett, go ahead with your number 1.
Yeah, my number 1 might have been The Witcher if I had gotten past the first 2 episodes. It's really good. I just haven't had time yet.
Boba Fett?
Actually, at number
Is that what you're
1,
saying? Oh, okay.
yeah, no. My actual number 1 is, to nobody's surprise, WandaVision. No, I'm just kidding. A series that
Got him.
Yeah, got him. Ha! Max is over there just crying. A series that not enough people caught. Reservation Dogs. This was a delightful surprise this year, and I watched it with my family here. Fantastic. I love the series. Some big guns coming out for this as far as acting prowess, but also some newcomers who really hit it out of the park. Each and every one of the kids in this do a phenomenal job. It was witty, it was charming, but it also had heart. 6 out of 6. This series is like probably top 5 TV series of all time for me. Just fantastic.
I will say I watched a couple episodes, and then just other stuff got in the way. But the few episodes I did watch, I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
So definitely something I'm looking to get back into, because
Same.
it
Yeah.
definitely was enjoyable those first couple episodes.
Great. Yeah, I think I watched 3 or 4 episodes as well, and I really, really enjoyed it as well. So yeah, that's awesome. Nice. And that another mark for a show that hasn't been on the list yet. So that's sweet. All right, go ahead, Rob A. Round us out with your number 1.
My number 1 is no surprise if you know me at all. It is The Witcher. I am a huge Witcher fan. They fixed the thing, because the thing that people complained about in the first season was the time, and people got really confused. And it took you had to think about it a little bit, and you maybe had to watch it again, which I don't think anyone was upset about, because you got to see Henry Cavill playing Geralt, and I think everyone can agree we just want more Henry Cavill in our lives. But I'm a huge fan of all of that, of just the Witcher world, and they've done such a good job of bringing that to live action. And it's a very difficult thing to bring to live action, because you're dealing with magic, you're dealing with like these crazy, insane looking monsters, and you're doing it on a Netflix budget. So it's really impressive what they've been able to do. Henry Cavill's best role right now is as Geralt of Rivia. And I say that with no, like, I don't care. It's not Superman. It's no one else. He is the best Geralt we could have. He's born to play that role. You need to check out the Witcher show. It's incredible what they're doing with that show on Netflix.
Nice. Yeah.
I that's kind of like if I was to give a regrets top 5, I wish I could have gone back and watched these 2 seasons. You guys have spoken so highly on it, and I'm a huge fan of Henry Cavill. So I'm definitely going to check this out, Robbie, because you and Zane have been touting it, and it looks good. Henry Cavill also is super passionate about it, which is really incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Henry Cavill is a huge nerd. So we were able to Jarrett was able to get a sneak peek at episode 1 that he gave to me, because his time just didn't work out. And then after that episode, you actually got a live Q&A with Henry, which I don't know if it was pre-recorded or not. But he goes off on this tangent about all all the stuff that he's written that's just fan fiction that he just writes.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
And that he does that for Warhammer and D&D. And then he just loves World of Warcraft. There's always a story of him he almost missed Zack Snyder's call because he was playing World of Warcraft. The dude is one of us. He just looks a lot better than us, unfortunately.
Yeah. True. Dang. Yeah, we had so just for stats wise, guys, we had 17 different shows that we put on our lists out of a possible 36. So I'd say it's a pretty wide variety of TV shows, which I kind of expected just because we've had so much good TV this year. But the number one show that earns the Infinity Bros StanLee Award, the best TV show of 2021, is Invincible.
Wow.
Invincible.
Okay, we got to talk about this real quick. We just got 5 subs from Leathernator. Thank you so much, Leathernator. You are awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for that, man. Leathernator, you are awesome, dude.
Awesome, dude. We love you.
Yeah, awesome. So Invincible wins with 21 points. The number 2. This is gonna keep going for like another minute. So I'm just gonna keep talking. But it's so funny.
Ask another question.
No, not quite yet. I'm going to talk a little bit. So Invincible comes number 1 with 21 points. Number 2 is Hawkeye with 15 points. And number 3 is Loki with 13 points. So
Max is so tilted right now.
He's like, what is going on right now?
Yeah, well, that's how the points work, and that's just a doggone shame. That's all that is.
But yeah, 17 different shows that we put on our list. So that's
honestly though, I can live with Hawkeye on there versus WandaVision. If it's Hawkeye, I can understand that argument. Oh man, thank goodness that WandaVision didn't make those.
Mark was the only one that put WandaVision on his list, even. Like,
well, I'm glad that Mark liked it, but I mean,
we're like WandaVision haters. We're a WandaVision hater podcast.
That is not true. That is not true at all. That is such baloney, Isaac. I am the WandaVision.
Max is a hater.
Yeah, knock that off. Right. Cut that out. That is my role.
Put it on their list.
That's his bit.
Not because they all know it's not good. Because they know it's not good and they don't want to admit it.
It was an honorable mention for me, and it was on Mark's list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, Mark is a nobody.
All right. Well, guys, that is it for our TV shows of 2021. Mark, let's have another giveaway. Let's do it.
I love you, Mark.
Bundle up, Mark.
All right.
Are we doing questions?
WandaVision getting 6 points on our TV show list.
Mark, you're not a nobody. I was just kidding. I'm sorry.
Max, you're telling the truth. That's all right. This is for the Marvel Lucha Funko Pops.
Ooh,
and then there's a bonus one that'll be sent into that pack. So
let's go.
Buckle up. And this question I researched. There could be technically 2 answers, so we'll see what we get first, and I'll be the winner. Which X-Man has a pet dragon?
I actually know this one.
Who is it?
I'm not going to say it, but I think I know who it is. Oh, we got mixed.
Matt knows.
Okay. What?
Yeah, I knew that one right away too. Good question, Mark.
I'm just happy I knew that one.
You're going to be sending a giant box of goodies to Matt.
I gotta be clear, it's not Colossus, right? Like that's not one of the ones I had on my list. No. Okay. Unless there's some weird off one-off that he has.
No.
Okay.
Mike's gonna get all of these if we do it this way the whole time.
Because the names I had on here were, either Shadowcat, Kitty Pryde, or Magic.
Neil says that he does.
Well, Neil, if you can send us a link, you will win those Funko Pops.
Oh.
And prove it to me, because I mean,
you were the first one to answer, so yeah, if you can prove it.
Well, yeah, was he a member of the X-Men at that time?
I think what he's thinking of is when Kitty Pryde gets shot inside the bullet. I think Lockheed goes with Colossus for a little bit, but that's not his pet. Anyone read the?
I know what you're talking about.
I have no idea.
Your guess is as good as mine, guys.
Man, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah, so Colossus goes to Otherworld. Not Otherworld. What the heck is it called? Outer World, maybe. And then Kitty Pryde has to phase a bullet through the earth, and it's a whole thing. But it's still Kitty Pryde's.
But aren't they married though? So couldn't it be their pet technically? In that
No. I don't think they're
a technicality here, maybe.
I don't even think they're together at that point. I'd have to go back. That whole run was wild.
Yeah, he's saying it's their pet.
We will do some more research, and if we figure out,
we'll put both your names down, and
Okay, so
Cut the
so are
Funkos
we
in half
deciding?
and just hand them back?
Yeah.
So if they're
Down
married,
the middle.
if they are in fact married, it will go to Neil at that time. But if they're not, it's Kitty and it goes to Mike. Is that what we're doing?
It's
Yeah.
got to be Kitty.
All right. Well,
I love
we'll
you,
come
Neil.
back to this.
I
I'll
will
let you
send
guys up.
you a heartfelt written love letter, but Colossus just feels right.
All
You
right.
said that on live stream, so now you have to do it.
We are going to move on. For those of you watching, thank you so much for tuning in. We are doing our 100th episode live of the Infinity Bros podcast. If you have not listened to our normal podcast before, you can check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podchaser, any podcast platform that you usually listen to your podcasts on. And we are going to be drawing that Infinity Gauntlet tonight when we're all the awards are said and done. So it's going to be a blast. Somebody's going to get an Infinity Gauntlet signed by the Infinity Bros tonight, guys. Wild.
In our blood.
With our blood. That's what Mark keeps
Mixed together. We're gonna pool in our blood and sign it.
Gosh.
I don't know, man.
Make sure you keep this Infinity Gauntlet sealed and like in a plastic bag or something.
How did you get our blood?
I already have it.
Already have it.
Moving on. Next list.
All right. Top 6 movies of 2021. We're going to reverse the order. So go ahead, Robbie, with your number 6 movie of 2021.
Okay, are we? I have a lot of honorable mentions for this list. This list was
if you have
very
honorable
hard to
mentions,
do.
go for it. Yeah, throw them.
Okay, I can do the honorable mentions. Okay, good. Okay, America the Motion Picture. Did anyone else watch that? It was ridiculous. It was stupid, but gosh dang, it was a fun time. Check that out on Netflix if you haven't. It is not kid appropriate. It may not be adult
Sure,
appropriate.
it's not.
But it is a fun time. I'll give you that. Okay, Raya the Last Dragon is also an honorable mention. Army of Thieves is an honorable mention. I actually really enjoyed that movie. I really thought about putting that on there. Red Notice is an honorable mention. Don't Look Up is an honorable mention. And then, much to Max's chagrin, Dune is an honorable mention. Dune was very, very close to being in the top 6. Very, very close to being in the top 6 after my second watch of that. Okay, and then for my number 6, I'm going to say the name wrong because every time I say it, Max corrects me, and I don't know if it's a bit or if I'm just saying it wrong. But Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Is my number 6 movie of the year.
Shang-Chi is the movie I'd like to celebrate.
This is I was listening to the radio one night after it was probably like a week or two after this movie came out, and it was South Dakota radio station, and they literally said Shang-Chi.
Oh wow!
Oh my gosh, were we listening to the same radio station at the same time?
Maybe.
Probably.
I heard that and I was like, you have got to be kidding me! Like, just mind blowing. But anyways, hit us with your actual number 6, unless you have more honorable mentions to.
That was my number 6.
That was your number 6. I thought you
was
were
my
saying
number
that
6.
was on your honorable mentions. Okay.
No. I said before I said it that it was my number 6.
Can you just let it be his number 6, Isaac?
Okay. All right. I'll mark it down. Okay, go ahead, Jarrett, with your number 6.
There's a lot of good movies this year, and I had a lot of honorable mentions. Encanto was my probably number 7. If I did 7, Encanto would be on there because the music is phenomenal. Number 6 is Raya and the Last Dragon. This I watched probably 1,000 times with my boys. They cannot get enough of it. And it's one of those that I can continue to watch and not hate myself. Very few kids' movies do that. So 6 out of 6, this was fantastic.
Scott wants me to say Encanto. There we go. That's the cool way to say it. Encanto.
Let's test
Encanto is a great movie.
Spain. Hey Max, how do you say that?
Yeah, how do you like?
This was Spain. It's a Colombian film, but go ahead, Max.
All right, Zane, you're up.
All right, Zane. Yeah, hit us with your number 6.
All right, my number 6, just because it was fun. I don't care what anyone else's opinion is. My number 6 is Mortal Kombat.
Wow. Okay, I did not expect that to be.
It was
you
just
credit.
a
I'll
fun
give you
movie.
credit, Zane, for
okay?
that. I'll give you credit. there.
Thanks, Max.
Hey,
Appreciate
congrats!
it.
You got
Alright.
credit from Max. I don't know what that means, but you got credit.
It's like, whose lines it anyways? The points don't matter.
True. Yeah. All right. My number 6 in movies is Zack Snyder's Justice League. I'm actually shocked that I even put this on my own list because Justice League is atrocious. It's really bad. But Zack Snyder's Justice League made it a solid movie. If he could somehow figure out some way to make it less than 4 hours long, then we're talking like really good movie.
Art.
But yeah. Anyways, that is my number 6. Mark, go ahead.
I had some honorable mentions. I'd like to mention Matrix, Resurrection, Shang Chi, Halloween Kills, Black Widow, Army of the Dead, and The Suicide Squad. All right, my number 6 is Bo Burnham's Inside. That is my number 6.
Man,
Oh,
I didn't count that as a movie.
And you,
but
I didn't count that as a movie either.
Oh, didn't you? Big bang.
Mark, I'm just gonna go right after you. That is my number 6 as well. Well done.
Wow, nice work.
Look at
gentlemen.
us. Who would have thought?
That well, and Mark, I don't.
You two are adorable, by the way.
Here's the thing about this movie, Mark. This was like a social, like, cultural moment too.
Oh yeah,
Like it felt like you watched it, and then for a month, you kept
lived it.
living it. Exactly. That's
Honestly,
it was really good.
If I'm counting that as a movie, it bumps off Snyder's cut for sure. Like that.
No,
would be-
you can't.
You
can't-
already
no,
went.
no,
You
no,
already
no,
went.
no,
You
no,
already
no,
went.
no,
You
no,
already
no,
went.
no.
I know.
If you're gonna switch your list, you better hope that someone else says something before you're up.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Yeah,
My
that's
turn?
fine. That's fine. I already marked it down.
Can I say
as
my honorable
Zack
mentions?
Snyder's
Can I at
Justice
least say my
League.
honorable
Fine,
mentions
go,
before I?
Max. Fine.
Absolutely
Just do it.
not. No.
Number 6 is
Ready.
Inside. Jerry, be quiet. Honorable mentions, Mark. I would also echo the Suicide Squad. I'll say Batman: The Long Halloween Part 1 and Part 2 were really good. Those were fantastic, especially Part 2. Coda is a tremendous movie. Check that one out. Very emotional, very heartfelt. Ride of the Last Dragon and The Little Things. The Little Things on HBO with Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
That came out right at the beginning of the year last
It was like
year.
January.
It was. It was
It
really,
was
really
one of the
good.
first shows on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
it was really good. Really good
Goodness.
ending. I really like with Leto did a tremendous job. Yeah, but Inside, Mark, I'm with you. I really struggled with my top 6. Inside to me could go as high to me as number 3. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. So good pick.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Moving on to our number 5s. Robbie, what you got for us?
My number 5 is Batman: The Long Halloween Parts 1 and 2. If you've ever read Batman: Long Halloween comic book, you will definitely enjoy this movie. They decided not to take their own liberties with it, which they've been doing a lot of in the DC animated runs, which has been super frustrating because they're ruining great comic books by doing their own spin on things that are already perfect, which makes no sense. But with The Long Halloween, they kept it to the comic for the most part, and it was very, very well done. Go check it out. I believe you can watch Part 1, Part 2 on HBO Max.
Nice. All right. Go ahead, Jarrett, with your number 5.
Number 5 was one that kind of caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did. It is done by the same people who did Into the Spider-Verse. It is Mitchell's versus the Machines. Again, my list is a lot of shows I watched with my boys this year. This one is heartwarming and charming, has a phenomenal animation, great writing team, and really was just a lot more fun than I was ready and expecting.
Nice. All right. Zane, what's your number 5?
All right, my number 5, and I'm guessing I'm probably the only person who has this, but it was a wild little James Wan film called Malignant.
Oh, yeah. You're definitely... Well, no, maybe.
It,
I can see Mark
I
having
mean,
it,
maybe Mark possibly, but yeah, that movie was wild. Like I went into it and I was like blown away because I was like, this is a very unique idea for a movie, and yeah, I was just very shocked by, especially like the last half hour. It was just like, what did I just watch? So Malignant, number 5.
Nice. All right, my number 5 is one that I just thoroughly enjoyed. It's not on my list because it's a great movie, but I had so much fun with it. It is Willy's Wonderland with Nick Cage. It's just it's one of the best B horror films I feel like I've ever watched. Like, Nick Cage does not say one word this entire movie. He just is just dripping with charisma. It's fantastic. I absolutely love this movie. Laughed my way through the whole stinking movie, and it actually got me to play Five Nights at Freddy's later this year. Probably wouldn't have played that without watching that movie, honestly. So yeah, it's
Nick Cage shows up and Isaac's all for it.
I'm all about Nick Cage.
All
you guys
in.
already know that. So yeah, it
top
was,
5, no matter
it's
what.
an
Nick Cage is in
advantage
it, top 5.
It's an advantage that movie has from the get-go.
Isaac, what are you going to do
Unfair.
when Nick Cage and Keanu Reeves team up in a movie?
Oh man, that's gonna be like my whole list. I'm gonna list the same movie 6 times for my whole entire list. So that's my
For Holly's sake, I pray that day never arrives.
agreed. All right, Mark, what you got for us?
My number 5 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. One could say Zack Snyder finally does justice for this film. Even though it's a 4-hour long cut in 4 parts, it was well worth it for me to actually get the good Justice League movie. Because when I saw this in theaters the first time, when Josh Whedon had his fingers in it, I hated it. When I left, I was like, this is a terrible movie. No one's going to like this movie. And I was right. So there it is.
I love
This
that
is
you
a sad
intentionally
day.
mess up Whedon's first name all the time.
Yeah.
Is it intentional though? Because I
J.A.
swear you started saying
Jose.
Josh and you like early on I couldn't tell if you knew it was Joss or
I'm intentionally disrespecting him as a
Okay.
person.
All right.
I love
Did
it.
you start
It's a great
doing that,
bit.
or was that like was that
Oh, I
always?
started doing
Okay.
that when that.
All right.
Well, yeah,
Good.
it's been a bit.
Mark
I'm
and I
glad.
have had several conversations offline about this, and I've said, "Don't stop. I'm with you all the way.
Hey, man,
I'll correct you
it's a
every
great
time."
bit. I love it.
Mhm.
It's a
I
great
love it.
bit. Mark, we're the same list to start. Snyder Cut number 5 for me. I have not. I
Get
haven't
creative.
had
Goodness
as
gracious.
I
more.
guarantee going forward we will not have the same list.
No, I don't think we will either. This, except for maybe number 1, we'll see. This
We'll see.
this is the best movie I've watched. Like, this is the best experience I've had watching a movie streaming at home. I have another movie that on my list that's a streaming movie, but this experience of watching this was mind-blowing to me because Mark, you and I talked about this. I was so expecting this to be a flop. I was so like, this is going to be it. This is going to be awful. We're going to come back here and say it's dreadful. And that was just such a delightful experience, top to bottom. I really enjoyed what Snyder did there. There are current rumors, apparently, that they're going to cut all of this out in The Flash. Like, this is all going to
Well, I
be
mean,
wiped away.
Flash is
Yeah.
supposed to be a Flashpoint-esque movie, so it makes sense that they would just restart it. So
Sure, and I think that's a huge mistake, and I hope Warner Brothers fixes and changes that.
There's a deeper discussion to be had about what DC is thinking about doing and messing up again.
that's another podcast.
Warner
a
Brothers
whole
needs to
nother
sell
podcast.
that whole property.
Yeah, is Marvel buying? Disney buying? Because that'd be nice. I'd go there. It'd be nice. It'd be nice.
Nice.
It'd be nice.
Very nice. All right, Robbie, number 4.
My number 4 is an anime film on Netflix. It is Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf. This tells the story of Vesemir, which is basically Geralt's teacher. He basically raises Geralt and a few other soon-to-be Witchers. But this tells his kind of story, becoming a Witcher, battling his own demons. It is a fantastic anime film to check out. Go on Netflix if you like The Witcher at all, have played the games at all. The art is amazing. The story is really, really good. It's all around good time. Go check that out.
Very nice. Jarrett, hit us with your number 4.
Yeah, before I get to my number 4, I just wanted to point out I haven't seen the animated Witcher yet. I have seen like the pictures of it, and it is weird how different Vesemir looks in the animated one versus the live action TV series. He's like really handsome in the animated series.
He's a good looking guy.
Yeah. At number 4, and one that I think will shock a lot of people, Dune. I loved this movie.
Wait, are we on 4 or 5? Hold on.
4.
We're at
4.
We're on 4.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we're on the turn. Forgive me.
I know Dune was hit or miss with a lot of people. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. The fact that Oscar Isaac finally gets to act in a movie that he isn't like horribly written in was really nice to see.
Have you not seen Ex Machina?
I have not.
Oh,
Absolutely phenomenal. Surprised me. I love this sort of political intrigue that goes into Dune, and I'm excited to see where they go from here. Timothy Chalamet did a fantastic job. All in all, phenomenal. I'm excited for the next part.
Yeah. Nice. I think Dune was definitely an honorable mention for me. I don't know. It was like the cinematography in that movie is probably one of the better movies I've seen in a while.
Dude, when they like get raided or whatever, and they're just like these giant ships being blown up, like it is beautiful what they do with that scene.
And the score also is fantastic. Like
it's almost like an art sci-fi film.
Right. Yeah. It seems like artsy for sure. Yeah, for sure. So Zane, is it your turn to go your number 4?
Yeah, it's on me.
It is his turn.
It is my turn.
All right, you're up.
My number 4 is kind of, I guess, a redemption film, if you will. I don't know. The Suicide Squad. That, especially from the turn of what we had from 2016. So then James Gunn was just like, all right, we did it with Guardians of the Galaxy. Take this ragtag group, and I very much enjoyed that movie. I thought that was a good way of doing it, taking those characters. So yeah, the Suicide Squad is my number 4.
Very nice. My number 4 is Shang Chi. So, I mean, we already talked about it a little bit. Great Marvel movie. I feel like it was a little different from some other Marvel movies that we've been seeing. Loved all the kung fu parts of it. Man, it was a great movie, and it was funny at the same time, and it didn't like. I think Marvel does a great job of that. Like, it was funny, but it didn't really derail the movie by how funny it was. Like, it fit pretty well in the scope of the movie. So, really, really enjoyed that movie. Definitely my number 4. So, Mark, go for it.
My number 4 is also the same as Jarrett's. It is Dune. And what I'll add to what Jarrett said, it's one of the few movies that I watched at home that I actually wish I watched in theaters. I feel like that would have a way better theater.
Absolutely. I wish I would have seen that in theaters.
But still loved it.
For sure.
Top to bottom, ready for part 2 and 3, and the infinite amount of Dune, stories they can tell. So I'm buckled up.
Nice. All right, Max, finish us off with your number 4.
I'm going to go with you, Isaac. Number 4 for me is Shang-Chi. Really enjoyed this. I really am excited for this character to have more stakes in Marvel, not just the MCU, but I think comic books are going to see this character take more of a limelight. I think it's ready for that. I think it was a bold choice for Marvel to care so much from this comic book character being so, for lack of a better way of saying it, the portrayal was very racist when it first came out, and it was just not a good take on how to do this character. And I think it really handled that well. And I credit everyone involved in this production. I think it was a really, really great movie. And I didn't like the Trevor bit in it, but that doesn't derail me from the rest of it. I really, really enjoyed this movie.
You didn't like the Trevor bit in it? I thought.
No, I hated it. To this day, I still hold. I hated it. I liked his little buddy, Morris. I liked Morris.
Yeah,
but
Max can't let people enjoy things.
What if he was?
Jared hates when toys. Jared hates when toys come alive.
Right.
What if
yell at him
he
in his
was not
backyard.
in
That hasn't been
Iron
mowed in
Man
years.
3? Like, what? If he was just
But
a random
that's like
character.
the whole point. The whole point is that he was in Iron Man 3, right?
If he was just a random character, though, like, what would you have like? If he played the exact same thing, he just wasn't in Iron Man 3. Like,
it was dumb. It was dumb the whole way, and I hold that.
I don't agree with that. I think he was funny.
I'm sure you do.
I also thought it was funny.
Yeah.
You also like
Morris was great too. So
Morris was great. Morris is adorable.
Yeah, agreed. Glad we can agree on something. All right, Robbie, number 3.
My number 3 is the Suicide. Oh, sorry, not the Suicide Squad. It's not the Suicide Squad. It's Suicide Squad because we don't want to think about that old Suicide Squad movie.
I think it
That
is the Suicide Squad.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure it's just Suicide Squad.
I'm
I think
pretty
they-
sure.
Is
the-
we need an actually?
Is it the?
It's an it's a the.
Can we get an actually? Was the first one Suicide Squad?
The first one was Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay, so it's the Suicide Squad, the one that we were
Wow.
supposed to.
I thought
Okay,
like
I
a
flipped it
big
the wrong
DC
way.
guy like yourself would be able to, have.
Well,
a-
I'm the number
As
two.
a resident DC fan
Yeah.
that was here. So
Yeah, Mark corrected me because he's the number 1 and I'm the number 2. So he
Robbie
corrected
is
number 2.
the fan.
Guys,
of DC.
okay, I just had a brilliant idea that I need. We need merch for this. We need to have Zane drawn in the same style as the actually like cartoon guy.
Actually,
Yes,
we should
I-
get
I
a
think
Comics
that
on the
would be
Cross
epic.
on that.
Yeah. Ooh.
Let's get the Art of the Hero on
That's a
that.
great idea.
Can we commission that?
That's a great idea.
I'm
How
all
about
for
no?
taking that.
How
about no?
Well, you don't have a say in it. I'm already commissioning it. If Cross is listening, you know what to do.
Nobody
but no,
asked you, Zane.
The Suicide Squad is my number 3. They obviously got rid of all those characters in a very fun way at the beginning by killing them all off that we didn't really need. My only gripe with it, there was quite a bit Harley Quinn that I could have taken some of that back. But Peacemaker and Bloodsport, their interaction was amazing. And then like King Shark in there's so much good about Suicide Squad. I really hope that they can get James Gunn back and we can just continue with that. Like if that was the entire DCEU, I'd be fine. Just make it the Suicide Squad. That's all I want. Stop ruining Superman and Batman for everyone. Just make fun Suicide Squad missions. And we're good. Let's just move on.
I'd be down with that. All right, Jarrett, what is your number 3?
Continuing on my trend of kids movies, Luca was fantastic. This is one that was playing on repeat in the Curtis household, and one that I did not grow tired of. I thought it was incredibly charming. I thought it was a nice little slice of life, something that was a departure from what I expected. And every single character, from the random kids in the background to the evil cat that's trying to mess up their boys' day. 6 out of 6. I love this movie.
Yeah, Scott mentioned it was a good year for kids movies. We had a lot of great animated movies for sure. All right, Zane, what is your number 3?
All right, my number 3, because I just love these movies. I don't care how much grief I get for it.
Oh boy, here we go.
Godzilla versus Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Godzilla versus Kong.
Zane's list
I
is
thought you were
wild.
gonna say. I thought you were gonna say Hathaway or whatever.
It's a giant lizard fighting a giant gorilla fighting a giant robot lizard.
Which
what's
makes no
not to
sense
like?
why it's on your top 6.
What's not to like about this movie, Max?
Zane's
nothing not
top
to
6
like.
is like super wild.
So-
It's going to be different than everyone's.
Yeah.
I have to be
Jeez.
different, dang it. I have to be
At
different.
number 1, we have Monster Hunter.
I'm easy to satisfy. Give me a giant monkey and a giant lizard and make them fight. That's all I
Do you
want.
have any
That's
cartoons
why I
with
watch movies.
monkeys being hitmen? Oh, yes, I'll take that.
Gosh.
I want fun viewing experiences. Okay.
Well, there
That's
you go.
it. That's all I
There you
want.
go. All right. Zane's whole list is just fun viewing experiences. None
Yeah.
are good movies, but they're fun viewing experiences.
Give up.
All right, my number 3 is also the Suicide Squad. This movie just had way more heart than I expected it to. Like, I mean, the first one had a little bit of heart. Like,
No, stop it. It has
alright.
nothing. It has nothing. We don't talk about it.
Yeah, right. You're right. There wasn't a first. You're right.
There wasn't.
a
This
first
is the only
Never
one.
mind.
This is it.
But yeah, I mean, I did not really expect that coming into it. I knew we were going to get a bunch of them dying, and I thought it was all just going to be a funny, like, everybody's dying movie, which, I mean, we did get that a little bit, but yeah, it just was way more emotional than I was expecting it to be, and in a good way. Like, I mean, Idris Elba was fantastic. The relationships that he makes with these characters, and John Cena and Peacemaker, I can't wait for that show. It's gonna be wild. But yeah, it was. I I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. So it surprised me, and it was a great movie. So that's my number 3. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, I'm here. If you had filled out the bracket of movies that would be in the number 1, I'm here to bust it. And my number 3 is Spider-Man No Way Home.
Ooh,
Oh,
wow.
Oh,
Okay.
whoa! Someone's
And
edgy.
I'm
Oh,
so
wow.
edgy, it's crazy.
Busted.
I mean, how
Goodness.
could you put Godzilla?
because it's incredibly fun.
This is the
movie.
Blair. Now it's the Blair
no.
Witch Project.
Hopefully, I can make people understand what my 2 and 1
over
are.
there.
I would love
love-
for you to figure out a way to explain this.
Well, I don't care if you don't like my explanation for 2 and 1, but anyways.
You want attention? Here you go.
I
Your moment.
Here it
love
is.
my
You have it.
attention. I'm a whore for it. Anyways,
Hey, Mark,
Spider-Man No Way.
thanks for taking the pressure off of me, bud.
Yeah, Spider-Man No Way Home. You know, we all saw it. We all loved it. It gave us 20 years of nostalgia down our throats. So still loved it. But I saw 2
Yeah.
other movies that I felt were better in my heart. So there it is.
Okay, well, let's get past that gong show. I will go now. Luca's number 3. I'm with you, Jared.
I'm the one being voted out, guys. I'm the bro.
Yeah,
that was
well, oh no, darn, Mark's gone. That'll
Scott
really be
Ian.
hard for the podcast. That'll be really tough. Luca's tremendous, Jared. I'm right there with you. This is one of the most rewatchable Disney movies of all time. It has a great story. It would be very tempting for this story to go other directions culturally, and it didn't. And I appreciate that. It really, really has a great message. This cat is one of the top 5 cats of all time in fiction. I just really, really love this story. Cast is tremendous. Totally echo everything you say, Jarrett. Number 3, Luca.
All right. Robbie, number 2 on your best movies.
And number 2 is Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't think anyone was surprised by that. Was very excited to see that when it came out. I even bit the bullet and watched it in black and white for that 4 hours just because Zack Snyder told me to.
So you watched that movie more than once.
I watched that movie more than once. I
How
did.
many times
Yeah.
did you watch it?
I think all the way through, I've only watched it twice. I've had it on at other times, but not actually watched it all the way through. But I really, really enjoyed that movie. I love what they did. Actually giving Cyborg some character was nice. So very, very happy about that. And then what they did with the Flash, making him a useful part of that world, was big. So there's a lot of things that they rectified. If they could have somehow made that into just a singular movie that came out before everything, and they could have fixed the whole DCU, that would have been great. But it's not what we got, so we're probably never gonna get Zack Snyder's actual DC universe. But I'm happy that we got this, and I can now say what if and kind of be well, we could have had some good stuff, and now sounds like the DCU is going down the toilet, unfortunately. But it's my number 2. Had no choice.
All right, so you
Well, Mark?
spent 8+ hours watching Zack Snyder's Justice League when you could have watched one whole show instead, but you did that.
You could have watched
That is what I
Godzilla
did.
versus Kong 4 times.
Choices were made.
Choices were made. Oh gosh.
I suppose I could have done that, but I did not do that.
Zane coming in
I
hot.
enjoyed my time. The black and white was fun too. So
All right.
for whatever reason, I
for you,
really
man.
like when
Good for
movies
you.
have the black and white because Logan did the black and white thing too, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So.
So,
Noir.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Jarrett,
Indy.
why don't you go ahead with your number 2?
My number 2 is this little indie film called Shang Chi. No, this movie was phenomenal. I loved it. I thought Simu did fantastic. Aquafina did fantastic. Cast, writing, everything across the board was great. Had the nice kung fu vibes the whole way through. Just phenomenal. Trevor Slattery. 6 out of 6, that man. Just great. Max is an idiot for thinking otherwise. Incredible. It's not 8 hours of Justice League, but it is a very, very fun ride.
Nice.
You could have watched that 4 times.
Aquafina, Jerry, you nailed it too. Aquafina is tremendous in that movie.
She is. It's good. All right, Zane, hit us with your number 2.
All right, my number 2 is also Shang Chi. I very much enjoyed this movie. It is in my top 3 of all-time favorite Marvel movies.
Wow,
It
top
was just-
3?
Yeah,
Wow.
Dang.
it's top 3.
Okay,
It
now
is top 3 for me.
This is not a 100th episode thing, but we have to re-rank all our Marvel movies after all the movies that we've seen, because I feel like we've done it on the podcast, but it was probably pretty early. So
Hey, Isaac, don't tell Zane what to do.
It was after Endgame came out, and now we have.
Please do not tell him what to do.
Okay.
Zane, you rank them when you're ready to do
I
it.
apologize, Zane.
Thanks,
I
Max.
apologize.
I'm just waiting for Marvel to buy the rights to Godzilla, and then that'll change my list.
Versus
And
Kong
DC.
and Mothra.
Hey, can I introduce you to the
Get a
American
retcon
Kaiju?
Godzilla and King Kong into the MCU.
And Zane's number 1 is Pacific Rim. I know it came out 6 years ago, but I'm still real big on it.
Watch it every year. It's a great watch, guys.
Hey, I could have thrown Pacific Rim: The Black into my honorable mentions on TV shows, and I didn't. Okay.
Real proud of you. You're really making some big strides there.
All right. Moving on. My number 2 is one that Jarrett mentioned earlier. It's Mitchell's versus the Machines. This is another kind of like under the radar. Like it just dropped on Netflix randomly one day. There was like basically no promotional material for this movie, and we just like picked it up and watched it, and my kids immediately loved it. I love it because it's such a heartfelt movie, and you get like almost into the Spider-Verse vibes from kind of the animation and stuff that's going on in that movie. But like it was just so wild and wacky and hilarious. Like I absolutely love this movie. It's going to be one that me and my kids are going to watch for years to come. Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Absolutely 6 out of 6. And is my number 2. So Mark, go ahead with your number 2.
My number 2, in a twist of fate, is the movie The Last Duel. I'm sure I'm the only one that watched this in this whole group.
Probably. Did you watch it on your phone?
Really want to watch that. Haven't yet.
And what I again, movies that I love is also I like fictional historical shows. I love real life event shows historically, and The Last Duel was great doing that. And then also on top of it, told the story in 3 different perspectives, like the 2 people involved in the duel and then the wife. So everyone that was involved in, the crime and then the prosecution and all that stuff. And, it's set in, the 1300s. So there's all that jazz, but loved it. Had all your good medieval fighting, had Adam Driver, Matt Damon.
That's your guy.
And
Adam Driver's your guy.
Ben Affleck. Yeah, and I love Adam Driver. So,
So we're saying Ridley Scott is right.
Ridley Scott might be right, but also he put a movie out in the pandemic that wasn't a Marvel movie, so like that's his first mistake. He should have held on to this another year and put it out.
True.
I'm really excited. I do really want to see that movie. I just haven't.
And I knew when I saw previews for it, initially it was going to be good. I was like, oh, this movie I'm going to love. But like none of the theaters in an hour radius are showing it, so it's like I had to wait until I could purchase it to watch it. So there it is. That's my number 2.
I gotta see that, Mark, because it looks good. And Mark, you know what? Based on your recommendation, I'm gonna go watch this.
Thanks, Max. I
You're
appreciate
welcome,
it.
Mark. I know you wanted to
That
hear
means
that
a
for
lot.
a long time, so I'm gonna say that to you right now.
Been 6 years waiting for
Kelly said it. He's gonna watch it because I told him.
All right, Max, hit us with your number 2.
I think this one's gonna shock a lot of people. Mine is Don't Look Up at number 2.
Wow.
I really
Oh
love
my.
this movie. I really, really love this movie. McKay really crushes it here. I can't think of a more poignant movie to watch than this one. It is heavy-handed on the global warming discussion, but you cannot help watching this not sense that it has to do with the COVID stuff as well. And I think McKay did a great job of air quotes attacking, because it's a parody, everybody. And I thought
Everyone.
I think DiCaprio crushes it. I think Lawrence crushes it. I just really, really like this movie. This was a movie that I was frustrated watching the entire time. And I think to get me that emotionally gripped on a fake movie that is a constant 24/7 comedy, everything happening is just a giant parody. And for it to be this fictional thing that nothing's going to happen to me, but for the stakes to feel so real and relevant, it had to go to number 2 for me. Don't Look Up. It's on Netflix. I also find it fascinating that it's rotten on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Because I think
it was the first rotten movie in 8 years.
And I just think that it's wild that people really didn't like it. I'm having it. You can have gripes with it, but I don't understand how you walk away from it not going, yeah, that was
too
really
real.
It's so real. That's got to be
real.
it, right? It's too real.
It hits
people
home
sometimes
for
are
all those
scared of
people.
facts.
Yeah, and I think it's very well done by McKay. I would put it in the same
Facts don't care
realm.
about your feelings, you know.
Thank you, Isaac. I appreciate that. I would put it in the same realm as The Big Short. I really love that movie. I think that movie's tremendous. This is in the same wheelhouse. The Big Short's still better, but this snuck in. I was able to watch it right before the new year kicked in. So it snuck into 2021. Otherwise, it would have made the list for next year. But Don't Look Up at number 2 for me.
Yeah,
It came out in 2021, so
yeah, it did. Yeah, it is a great film. If you haven't had a chance to check that out yet, you definitely need to check it out. I didn't put it on my top 6, but like Max was saying, like throughout the entire movie, you're just like you agree with Leonardo and what's her name?
Lawrence.
And you're like, you feel their frustration because they're like telling everyone what's going to happen. And like, then they have to like scream it from the rooftops and just nobody cares. It falls on deaf ears. So it's really interesting. And it's really interesting how it affects you while you watch it. Cause you're like mad, just like they are at what's
you can't help
happening.
but relate it to the real world. And
yeah.
It's a layered thing. Everybody says it's about the global warming conversation, which it is, but there's other pieces to it. And how they talk about religion, how they talk about the politics, and how they talk about technology. It's just
the media in general.
Very good watch. Yeah. Very good watch.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Very balanced. I thought it was balanced. And I applaud them for that.
Are we going to take a little giveaway break, Mark?
Sure.
Before we do our top movies of 2021? All right. What are we giving
So
away?
this is for the Bebop and the Full Metal Alchemist figures. So you get 2 figures.
I need that
this one.
These are legend figures, right?
I need that. No.
I don't know. No, they're just regular figures. They're not
They're
Marvel
figure
Legend
arts.
figures.
I believe they're figure arts, aren't they?
Maybe. I don't know.
Don't yell, Mark.
These are
just
legit,
tell me what you want to do.
These
Don't
are
yell.
legit figures, so people get in on these.
Well, not
I
like
want that
legit
Alphonse
figures
so
that
bad.
cost like $50. Let's get real.
Well, yeah. Right.
Anyways, moving on. But yes, they're figures in a box still.
No, there was it Mark opened up and was playing with, actually.
I played with them for a little bit. So, like, they're special. Having said that, one of the boxes I saw is ripped, so like I didn't play with them. But
yeah, okay, guy. Okay, yeah.
Ripped.
Okay. In what year was the first anime film? That's the question. In what year was the first anime film? When did the world first get an anime film?
Oh, wow.
Ever.
Okay. Interesting. Gosh, that's a... 41. Dang. Leathernators going
I have
way
a
back.
year.
Wow. Okay. I'm not sure, but
I have no
so
idea.
1945, Neil, 1971.
1971, 41, 45,
Wow.
45.
I'm not
yeah.
saying it.
Matt's
1958.
100. Matt.
1958.
190.
I pulled this from the
years in
history of
future.
anime, so
So we're
Can you
no
give
matter
us the-
what, no
can
matter
you give
what,
us
we're
the
going
title
by
of the film?
Mark's. We're going by Mark's findings. Is what we're doing.
unless I'm proven otherwise.
What's the title of the film?
I did not write that down, so
Oh.
I will go look it up
My
right
bad.
now.
Mickey
It's
Mouse
Mickey
is
Mouse
not anime. No. See, for some reason, I was thinking Akira was one of the first, but maybe that was just one of the bigger ones.
Taro.
Oh, it's got to like Ghibli films have been around for a while.
Yeah.
Was the first one, like,
Momotaro
Fire?
Umi no Shinpai. 1917. Okay, so we got a lot of
Not a lot of
ones here.
answers.
Have you been able to see the chat, Mark?
Here, do you want me to? The White Serpent is considered the first anime movie.
See, Matt just knows this stuff.
1958.
Yeah.
So we got 1917.
Matt is just three geniuses.
We got
in a trench coat.
1958. We got 1945, 1941, 1924,
1993.
Mountain Nerds, thanks for the lurk, by the way. Dakobo Shingacho, Mien no Shinpai. So
I'm not going to pronounce anything.
Good. It's a valiant
trying my
effort,
best.
Robbie. Valiant effort.
I failed a lot. I've already failed a bunch, so I might as well just keep trying.
Mark, is anybody close?
See, this is where it's like it gets tricky when you go off of
Google?
The internet.
well,
Wikipedia.
no,
Yeah.
well, the internet, because there's so many different answers. So like, okay,
Matt
these are
just
like I
went
had.
to Wikipedia and changed what Mark was looking at just so he could get this out of the way.
Yeah, he couldn't. Edited
I need that.
Wikipedia.
I need that Alphonse.
So this is where like there's when I went on the history, there's their origins, and there's like other stuff, what I went with date is 1960 is like modern anime. However, 1945 is another date that popped up a bunch. So
Okay.
Then
Whoever put 1945.
Leathernator was the first to say 1945.
Leathernator.
I'm sorry,
has
Matt, if you
1945.
are upset with my research, but that's how the cookie crumbles. So I'll take 1945 for this.
He says
one.
he thinks that White Serpent might be the first color anime.
See, and that's the other thing. It's like, is modern anime more in the color version or black
I
and
don't
white?
think
Like,
so.
I don't know.
I don't think it
So we're
matters.
giving that to Leathernator.
I would give Leathernator.
We'll give it to Leathers. That's
All right.
fine.
Hope he likes
As
Cowboy
long
Bebop.
as Matt and I
All
can
right.
still be friends.
Very cool.
Do you like Cowboy Bebop?
Good
and
work.
So now, Leathernator, if you haven't watched Full Metal Alchemist, you need to go watch Full Metal Alchemist, and then you can really appreciate that Alchemist.
Brotherhood. Watch the better one. Watch.
Yeah, watch. Well, yeah. I should have clarified. Don't. Yeah, I mean it's better. You don't need to waste your time with the other
Price is
one.
Right rules. All right.
yeah.
Here we go.
Next
And
season,
the
watch
right
it.
Cowboy Bebop. Don't watch the Netflix one.
Nice, Leathernator. Great
All right.
stuff.
We're gonna now dive into our number one movie of 2021. I'm guessing most of us are gonna have the same one, if I am not mistaken. But Robbie, start us off. What's your number one?
Real big surprise. I'm not even gonna try to make a joke. It's No Way Home. That should be everyone's number one, in my opinion. It's the best movie we got this past year. It gives you everything you want. I'm sure there's a lot to be said about it. I'm sure everyone has probably seen it. No Way Home was last year's best film.
All right, Jarrett.
Yeah, I mean, again, no surprise. Incredible action film. Brought three of our favorite heroes together. It's My Hero Academia, World Heroes Mission. No, I'm just kidding. It is No Way Home.
You would
Fantastic
that
movie.
though, so
Yeah.
it makes total sense.
I'm not as cool as Mark, but yeah, no, it is a
You're not
fantastic
edgelord
movie.
like Mark.
Right.
The edgelord is Max.
Warmed my heart.
Really not.
Caught me off guard. Fantastic.
Oh, Max muted himself. We can't hear him.
Max, you're muted.
It's you, Mark.
Zane. Go ahead with your number one.
Not really any surprise to anyone. It's No Way Home. If you haven't watched that movie yet, go watch it.
Did a Fast and Furious movie not come out this year, Zane?
Hit Fast 9.
Gross.
Oh yeah, we had Fast 9. Why isn't
Didn't
Yeah,
make
Fast
anybody's
9 did come out.
list. What the heck?
Fast
Or
9
I
didn't make
shouldn't
my
say
list.
that
I'm a
yet.
huge
I shouldn't
fan
say
of
that.
Fast
It
9. It
might
did
be
not make my
Max's
list.
favorite movie
No,
of the year.
it did not make my list. It's like it didn't even make honorable mentions. It was one
Wow.
of the weaker ones. Yeah.
That's okay.
Not enough
Them-
family.
Wait. So
No, no,
you mean them going
That's-
to
that's
space
enough-
is,
that's a weak
is a
one.
weaker Fast and the Furious? Interesting.
All I'm saying is I'm not like Zane, and I'm not going to come on here and say
So
that the popcorn
F9
flick is
is-
the one I want in my Fast 6.
All right.
So you're scared. Just say that.
Wait. Were you talking about Fast 6 or Fast 9?
I'm sorry. Fast 9 is not going to be on my top 6. Forgive me. I enjoy going to the movies. I'm not apologizing for that. I wish Zane would have been like, you know what? Honorable mention: Godzilla versus robots versus Mothra versus clowns.
Mothra wasn't in that one.
Mothra wasn't in this one.
It's a bit. It's a bit. That's all.
No,
I'm saying.
there wasn't clowns either.
Hey, next time you do a bit, can you let us know you're doing a bit before you do that?
Hey, I'm
Just
doing a
warn
bit.
us. Just warn us.
Okay.
I'm doing a bit.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
done
good.
now. My bit is done.
Good.
Go ahead.
And to nobody's surprise, my number 1 is also Spider-Man: No Way Home. Yeah, this is the best movie I've seen in a long time, and I wouldn't say best. It's one of the best movies I've seen in a long. I still think Into the Spider-Verse is better than No Way Home, but No Way Home is.
Brother.
I could not. 2 years ago, we've talked about this on this podcast so many times. I've said there's no way a live-action Spider-Verse is happening, like so many times on this podcast. And they did it. They did it. And they did it well. They didn't only just do it just to do it. They did it well. And it just blew everybody's minds. This movie is going to be over probably 1.7 billion. Like, it probably doesn't. I don't know if it has the legs to make 2 billion. But yeah, in a pandemic, like, it's just
Wild.
It's wild. It's wild. So
I'm going to
that's
leapfrog
movie.
Mark because it's my answer too,
Okay.
just because I know Mark
That's
isn't
fine.
picking that. So I just want to give Mark the opportunity to go last. The two things I'll echo on top of what everybody else is saying here is there's only one other experience I can parallel this with, and that would be Avengers Endgame in terms of like my experience of watching this. But two, this really is like I can have the dialogue with somebody of this is better than Spider-Verse or Endgame. I really think those are reasonable conversations. I don't think they're unreasonable.
Yeah.
And I think if you think that, I think that's absolutely fine and merited. I think it's merited. I think it's earned.
Right.
They earned it all.
Yeah, I definitely am with you. Like it's in the conversation. It's not, out of the question for sure. So
I would personally put it above Spider-Verse by a hair. But Endgame is like I go back and forth on that.
I go back and forth on that as well because it's hard. Like, this is live action compared to animation, and it's just more difficult to do things in live action. So the fact that they pulled this off and pulled it off well in live action,
right.
to me, probably gives it an edge over Spider-Verse. I think the real argument, like Max was saying, is you could argue, is it better than Endgame, Infinity War? And I think that's where, that is a conversation for maybe another time. Maybe when we do a new MCU rankings, because I think that would be very interesting to see where that lands.
And I want to sit on it too because I want to get past the emotions I've felt for the last couple weeks about it.
Great.
Yeah. Right.
Mark, what's yours, man?
All right, Mark. Yeah, I'm
For the
really interested to see what Edgelord has for his number 1 now.
It's gonna be something wild like Green Knight.
I've
My
heard
number
really
one-
good things about that, to be
Ooh,
honest.
is it Green Knight? That's actually not a bad guess, Jared.
My number 1 has one of my favorite actors in it, and also goes over a TV show I loved growing up, and it is Being the Ricardos. Is my number 1 movie for
Interesting.
2021.
Wow. Okay.
Never heard of it. Explain it to us.
Wow. Okay.
Don't know what that is.
Oh, that's the one
Go-
about
Yeah,
Yeah.
by
Go on.
Lucille Ball and
Right.
Desi, man, why am I
I like
blanking?
totally forgot that existed.
But yeah,
so
it's basically goes over the I Love Lucy show in their like second or third season, like the week that Lucille Ball was like the newspaper wrote that she was a communist, and like what they did in preparation for that. And Javier Bardem is just amazing as an actor, so I loved it. It was also one of the movies I watched at home where I didn't look at my phone at all. Like I was that enthralled with it. So yeah, so that's my number 1. I loved it.
dang.
Another thing that's about basically I'm a sucker for any movie that tells real historical stuff and is good, or fictional historic stuff. So
Get
Mark
out of
is
here.
like unironically very cultured.
yeah.
Apparently.
I mean, he still had Spider-Man: No Way Home at number 3, so I mean, you can't fully
Yeah, I
consider
love-
him culture.
I love my popcorn
Right.
films, and I love my legit films. Whatever.
Mark, I respect that. I respect that.
I respect.
I'm not
that
going to
more
come
than
in here and
Zane's
tell
list.
you.
I
not
do
to
respect
watch
it more
something
than
you
Zane's
love.
list. It's accurate.
Hey, Zane loved his list, and there's movies that on Zane's list that I loved, but I was like, I can't put that on my list because I'd be
Okay.
ridiculed.
Because they are
stats.
top 6 worthy.
Here's the stats for movies, guys. So we had 17
Yeah.
TV shows in our possible 36. We actually had 18 movies in our lists, which
Wow.
is it's just pretty wild. We had more movies. I did not expect that. I thought it was going to be TV shows for sure. But out of a possible 18 movies that we had on our lists, it's obvious that Spider-Man No Way Home is the winner by a landslide. Number 2, though, is Shang Chi with 17 points. Spider-Man No Way Home had 32. Shang Chi had 17, and the Justice League Snyder Cut had 10. So that comes in number 3.
I just can't believe that.
How'd Godzilla vs Kong do?
Let's see. Godzilla versus Kong. I'm scrolling. It's still scrolling. It's really far down on the list, if you can tell.
I just can't believe Marvel has made.
Was that
I'm
a
actually
bit?
curious about that one.
Eternals wasn't on anyone's
Yeah,
list.
nobody's
No.
list. Eternals did
No.
not make the list. Black Widow didn't make the list.
Nor should
Matrix.
it. Nor should either.
Yeah.
Free Guy. There's a lot that I wrote down here that did not make the lists. So
I just think it's crazy
Okay.
that Marvel's done 9 Spider-Man movies now, and they still haven't revealed who he is. Like, we don't know who that person is. Who
Wow.
plays?
You're
Who is
so
Spider-Man?
funny.
that's wild.
Crazy.
You're so funny.
Do you get it, Zane?
Max is
'Cause-
just
Oh wait,
like-
hey,
Do
is
you get
that
it,
a
Zane?
bit?
No, Jared, it wasn't. I really don't know who he is.
You gotta warn us, Max, when you're doing those bits, man. You gotta warn
Hold
us.
on.
Yeah, we
I'm
talked-
doing
Hey.
a bit.
Oh.
Can I ask next time? Can you make it funny though? Like that, but funny.
Ooh, ouch.
Oh,
Ouch.
burn. Somebody called USA Network.
Yeah, who-
We got ourselves a burn notice.
Max, you saw Free Guy. How was that? Was that good?
5 out of 6. I really enjoyed it.
I was like, okay. I really like. I want to see that. Just haven't had the opportunity. Has anyone else
Yeah,
seen that?
it's a movie
Oh,
that
yeah.
Zane would love.
That looks like a movie Zane would love.
Very,
There was
very
the
Zane
Ryan
Ellis
Reynolds
movie.
movies that came out in close proximity. It was that one and Red Notice or whatever.
Red Notice is very good as
And-
well.
Yeah, I've heard that one of them is garbage and one of them isn't, and I don't know which one's which.
Red
You have to
Red
watch-
Notice. Red Notice
both
is
of them.
very good.
It has
Like,
The Rock in
is-
it, Red Notice, so it can't be bad.
And Gal
It
Gadot.
can't,
So
it can't
I
be
mean,
bad. Yeah, right.
it has The Rock, Ryan Reynolds,
Okay,
and Gal
need
Gadot.
to
like-
remind you, Wonder Woman 1984 had Gal Gadot in it.
Yeah, but that's not her fault.
yeah, it's not.
So do some of the Fast and Furious movies.
Well, the scenes that she's in are good.
Zane. Attaboy, Zane.
The scenes that she is
Good
in.
answer,
are
Zane. Good
Well,
answer.
actually.
Actually, got
All
us.
right, guys.
We
We're
got
gonna
it.
do one more giveaway, and then we're gonna go. We'll zoom through our Infinity Gems. For the Infinity
gonna
Gems
zoom?
list. We're not gonna do them one by one. We'll do just like each person gives
Oh.
their whole list at one time. So
Now we're just switching things up. Okay.
yeah, we're switching it
This
up.
makes sense for this
So-
list. I get it.
Convenient.
Spider-Man No Way Home
Convenient.
wins which to nobody's surprise, everybody knew that was going to win. The StanLee for the Infinity Bros top movie of 2021. Spider-Man No Way Home and Invincible. I like those are good picks.
Good picks.
Very nice. All right. We want to do one more giveaway here, Mark, before
Yeah.
we jump into
Yep.
the Infinity Gems.
All right.
He's giving away his.
These are for
Give away your heart.
giving away my heart for this one, and also 3 Marvel Legend figs.
Whew. 3.
3
What
of
are
them.
they?
I don't know off the top of my head, but if you go to
Oh,
our
okay.
Twitter, you'll find them. Which eye does Nick Fury wear a patch over? Basically, what's his bad eye? Do we know?
Love to get. Love to get.
Matt is just like frantically typing.
Not a
as
real
fast
word.
as he can.
Matt,
It's not
that's
a real
a
word. That's
Love
not a
to
real
be-
word.
Doesn't count.
Rude.
Telling you,
It is
three
left.
geniuses
So
in a
whoever
trench
said
coat.
left
Love
first.
to get.
Yeah. Well, are we counting Lufgud?
Yeah. What are we
Look,
counting?
look,
Does the spelling have to be correct?
it's the abominations.
Well, if that's someone's response to not spelling it right, then I am gladly will give that person the winner.
That would be.
I love you, Matt.
Rock.
Never change.
Yeah, that'd be Matt again.
All right.
Oh wait, we started the ticket thing. What's going on?
Yeah. So who are you? That's a different one. But who are you giving that to, Mark?
Matt, if he's the
Matt?
winner.
Okay.
Or
You're just gonna send everything to Matt. That's fine.
Yeah.
what's his Twitch name?
Rock
right,
and
Matt?
Mr. Magic.
Rock
Okay,
Mr.
yeah.
Magic.
Right.
Yeah, he's gonna have a nice little.
Good thing I already have his
gift
address.
Yeah.
All right, so I have just entered in the chat a giveaway for Infinity Bros gift box. This is my giveaway. It's going to include 3 figures, little McFarlane figures, 2 Rick and Morty figures, a South Park figure. It's going to include a shoot, where'd it go? Oh,
Can I enter in it?
Star Wars BB-8. No, you can't. BB-8 model, 3D model, and then also an Infinity Bros cap.
Oh,
Baseball cap.
wow.
So this is a big one.
Exclamation
There's a lot
point
of stuff
ticket
in there.
1, everyone.
Yeah, hashtag
Exclamation
ticket 1 to get entered into that. And then we'll draw that at the end of our top 5s. So, or top 6s, I should say. So, all right, let's go ahead and start with Zane. Why don't you go ahead with your Infinity Gems? So Infinity Gems, just to reiterate kind of what that is, that's like basically the category that we're putting everything else in. Could be like video games, comic books, events, things we got into this year. Pretty much anything else can be on this Infinity Gems list. So, all right, Zane, go for it.
So just doing all 6.
Yeah, all 6 at one time.
Right.
Yeah, go for it.
Say all the words at once.
Just on the forewarning, all of my gems are video games, so just deal with it.
I'm
Yeah,
proud
can
of
we-
you, Zane.
Do we need to mention that, like, we're just most of us are a bunch of dads, and, like, we just don't have time to play a lot of video games. So, like, typically we would have a video games top 6, but
I mean,
we all
someone could
realize...
say the 8 hours you spent watching Justice League.
Yeah.
You played a lot of
Yeah.
it, Halo Infinite there.
A lot of, yeah, I guess. But yeah, just to explain why we got rid of video games, we just didn't have time to play
Yeah,
new
a lot of
video.
us played like less than 6 games the whole year. So, you know.
Yeah,
We became more adults as Zane became a single bachelor again.
Right. I'm so excited for Zane
And-
to just say Ghost of Tsushima less.
And Zane should not feel bad about that.
Legends
I am
like 6
jelly
times.
no, I'm jealous of Zane.
of the amount of video games.
Can
he
we
played.
all
Not-
just let
not-
Zane go,
not that he's
please? I want to
single.
hear what his list is.
All right.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
listening,
go ahead.
Zane. Go ahead with
Sorry,
your Infinity
he
Gems.
is,
I thought about putting Ghost of Tsushima, Jared, but I didn't.
Ooh,
All right, my number 6 is Back for Blood.
yeah.
My number 4 is Pokemon Unite.
Wait, did you just skip 5?
Yeah, why don't you have a 5?
Oh wait, yeah, I'm used to doing top 5. So
Yeah,
6 is Back for Blood. 5 is Pokemon Unite. Number 4 is the Dark Pictures and anthology House of Ashes.
Yeah.
Me and Isaac
Yeah.
played that one.
Mhm.
Great game.
Good stuff.
Another one me and Isaac did at number 3 is Operation Tango.
Yes. Dude, if we had a video game list, I would have put both of those on there for sure.
Absolutely. My number 2 is Mario Golf Super Rush.
Ooh.
And my
Mario
number
Golf
1
is awesome.
boy.
so much fun. And my number 1 is the Guardians of the Galaxy game. If you
Solid
haven't
Choices.
played it,
Good choices there.
grab
Wow,
it.
didn't put Unmatched Volume 2. Coward.
Wow.
Well, it's not a video game.
You didn't have to do video games.
Yeah.
I
Coward.
know.
just
I
wanted
said
to.
my list was video games.
Where'd you
Okay.
put Candy Crush
he
on
was
here?
all prepared for us to do a top 6 video games, and he was probably, he might have been the only one. I don't know.
You
Would
do
have been close. I would have had like 5 solid ones and then an iffy 6, I think. So,
Fair enough.
all right, good list. All right, I like the video game theme though. Good work, Zane. All right, Mark, why don't you go ahead with your top 6?
We're going random
Yeah,
here.
we're going random order here, you guys. You don't.
I
know
wasn't
Wow.
prepared. I thought you were going to do
Wow.
Carrot next.
Wow.
I thought it was gonna be Garrett.
Sadly, mine does not have any video games on it because I guess doing Fortnite Season 7 wouldn't count, or like Season 3 of
You-
Rocket League,
you can
whatever.
Put it on there.
But
Really?
these are
Wow.
better things.
Amen.
My number 6 is a moment, and it was the Pokemon trading card hype to the point where a gun was drawn, and
Oh,
basically
yes.
every store started limiting or eliminating stuff. And I
That's
just
so
thought
wild.
culturally that was a wild moment.
2021 year review.
Yep.
Mark
is
lived for
wild.
that.
My number 5 is a podcast that came out I think it came out this year, but I definitely started listening to it this year. And it's called My World with Jeff Jarrett. It's a wrestling podcast. And I was not a big fan of Jeff Jarrett growing up, but now having this podcast out, and he has like a ton of episodes out already with, and I love it. I just love hearing the history and backstories of wrestling. So I'm all in on that stuff. My number 4 is a hobby I took up, and it is painting. I love painting, and it's a good thing to do. My number 3 is hearing the announcement of Michael Keaton as Batman. Amazing stuff. Got me jazzed. And then number 2 is the Phase 4 announcement. Hearing what they're going to do with all that stuff and getting finally getting a Fantastic Four, which will probably be the next time you see Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever is Spider-Man underneath that suit. And then my number 1 is basically anytime a new Batman trailer has been dropped. That's my number 1.
It's consecutively like it was.
So
your
like
number
I had
one,
like
then it was
3
your
good
number-
moments. Yeah.
Very nice. For those of you guys in chat, make sure you type in just !ticket. Don't do the 1 at the end, because for some reason it's not counting it if you do the 1 at the end.
Oh, weird.
So, or maybe it's the space.
Exclamation
No, it's
ticket.
the space. Make sure you do !ticket space 1. If you do just ticket 1 with no spaces.
Are Luke and Fox in? That'll
Yep.
tell you if you need the
Yep.
space. Okay.
Luke and Fox are in. There we go. Now we got Leatherator and
Leatherator's-
Rock and
okay.
Mr. Magic and
Got
guys. Now we're good. Okay. All right. So let's go, Robbie. Top 6.
Oh, okay. I have one honorable mention, just because I just didn't know where to put it. Forza 5 is a racing game that came out on Xbox, well, everywhere, but got it on the Ultimate Game Pass. Really, really enjoyed the week that I got to play it. I do want to get back to it, but then another game came out and I took my time. But I really, really enjoyed Forza 5. So my number 6 is Zane's number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy. That game's really, really fun. I've been playing it, and my son Grayson will watch as I play it. It's really enjoyable. They did a really good job with the team. They probably should have just called the game Star-Lord, because you're basically just Star-Lord's story. But I'm really enjoying that so far. My number 5 is Bo Burnham's Inside and the entire movement around that. It kind of brought out a lot of people that maybe hadn't seen a lot of Bo Burnham stuff and didn't know what they were getting into. But Bo Burnham, I think opened some eyes. So I was really happy for that, and just the kind of the emotion that brought up. My 4 and my 3 go hand in hand. It is Twitch. It's just being able to stream on Twitch more. This community has been really, really awesome to us. I've really, really enjoyed my time on Twitch. It's funny that we always have something that goes wrong when I stream, but
when everyone
that's become,
streams,
I guess,
not just you.
yeah, everyone.
It's just an Infinity Bros thing.
That's the Infinity Bro bit, I guess.
That's our calling.
Yeah. So with Twitch, it also brings up this entire setup that my wife has allowed me to do. So big shout out to my beautiful wife, Jessica. She's allowed me to stream and spend time doing this and spend time with our community a little bit. And yeah, so those are my 3 and my 4. This probably should have been further down on the list, but I didn't change it. So it's the Dark Knight Funko Pops. I know that sounds really, really dumb, but if you can't tell, I collect Funko Pops. So the Dark Knight
You collect Funko Pops
series,
Dude.
I collect Funko Pops.
Wow.
But it's all these guys. So I finally have the entire sets of them that came out throughout the year, and I've just been collecting them throughout the year. So they finally have the entire set out. They are all set here in front of my Savage TV, just a garbage TV that was thrown on the side of the road. I set all my Funko Pops in front of it. Yeah, I'm probably just going to show every single one of these really quick. Just for fun.
All right.
I love that you call it a Savage TV.
Savage.
Savage,
So funny.
Savage TV is the last one there. And then my number 1, if you guys have been in the Twitch at all, is Halo Infinite. Halo is back. I am all in on it. I'm spending way too much time on it.
So good.
I freaking love it, and it has consumed all of my some free time that I have outside of like being with my kids and being with my wife. Really enjoying the grind in Halo Infinite. So that's my list.
There you go. Solid list. Nice work, Robbie. All right, Max, you are up with
Thank
your
you.
top 6.
Yeah, I want to also give a couple shout outs as well before I start my list. I want to thank my wife as well for allowing me to podcast weekly and edit weekly. I was at my in-laws' house editing next to a bunch of nieces and nephews. So I just want to say thanks to her. One of the highlights of my year that's not going to make the list, it would be number 1, but that would be weird, would be the birth of my daughter. That was pretty awesome. 6 out of 6
That's
that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 6 so far. We'll see how it works though
So
for next
far,
year.
yeah,
We'll see.
yeah.
Season
Stay
2
tuned.
starting soon, so we'll
I
see.
believe you're still in the 1-year warranty, so like
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know we were
And-
putting our personal lives into the top 6, so I guess the
Oh, it's okay.
No.
It's just it's my moment that was really important to me, and for you, all the Batman trailers were more important to you than other things going on. So that's okay.
Well, I mean,
That's fun.
I didn't
Hey,
think it'd be
Max,
appropriate
This is a
to put it
bit.
by number
This is a
1.
bit. This is
Hey,
a bit.
Max,
This
To
is
put
a
it by
bit.
number 1
was
is
a
the
funny
consummation
bit.
of my
I like
child.
that.
You know, whatever.
6 out of 6, that one.
That was good. That was good.
Number 6 for me. So I kind of went about this similar to you, Robbie. I tried to kind of go through like pop culture moments for me that really stuck out. So for I talked about this earlier. Number 6 for me was the Justice League Snyder Cut. This was just mind blowing to me that it was this good. It really had zero business being this good. I really enjoyed this, and yeah, you've talked about it, but I just wanted to echo that, Robbie. Number 5 for me was Hot Ones with Tom Holland. So I've been watching Hot Ones every week. I try to watch most of them, or I'll save them if I have a long trip. And we're all except for Jarrett in a fantasy league, and the loser of our league this year has to do the Hot Ones challenge. So I've been just like watching how people are reacting just to see like what our friend who has to do it is going to be like. The Tom Holland one is so good. It's just and it was such a like great. Just I love Hot Ones in general, but I really liked that episode. It was just a great moment for me and one of the highlights of my year. 6 out of 6 that episode, and just I love Hot Ones. Number 4 for me was Marvel Dark Ages, the comic series that's been coming out. Jared, have you been reading this?
It looks so good.
No, it's on my short list,
wanted,
but I haven't grabbed it
I
yet.
wanted to get into it, but I haven't.
So it's been so good. I've been reading this one this year. And if you are into purchasing comics right now and you're like, hey, I'm looking for a series that's really going to work, this is the one for you. It's going to come out as a full graphic novel eventually. Get it when it comes out. This is really good. If you don't know anything about it, just Google a brief synopsis of it and you'll want to check it out. Number 3 for me was Kingpin and Daredevil getting revealed in the same week.
Oh, spoilers.
I cannot
That's
believe.
massive spoilers.
Whoa, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Don't care.
Oh.
I'm pretty intrigued with this choice, and this has just been like mind blowing to me. I did not think Hawkeye as a season was like this amazing thing. It was fun, enjoyed it. I see why you guys liked it that much, but Kingpin being in it was a really big deal, and I really enjoyed that. Number 2 for me is WandaVision episodes 1 through 7. I had the time of my life. Episodes 1 through 7. Every week, Mark and I would come on, and we would do this podcast, and the golden days of like COVID was bad. Our daughter was just born.
Oh, but still is bad.
And COVID's still bad, but I'm saying it was bad in the sense of like my wife literally wouldn't let me leave the house. And I would watch the show and spend all week wondering about the next episode. And then Mark and I would go on, and I would hear these off the wall. I would
Just
search on
crazy in the weeds stuff.
and Mark would just say things that I had not heard. So original, so much
Mark
fun.
was going deep
Dude,
in the weeds.
I was so for the ride, Mark. I was so for the ride. And like,
I mean, the retort on that though, Zane had the most crazy one with the book, if we remember, for
yeah.
going far in the weeds again. That one blew my mind.
Necronomicon.
That's how crazy it was.
yeah, dude, I have not had more fun talking about a show than that one. And although I have ripped that show to shreds, episodes 1 through 7 were such a ride. And if I could get rid of that season finale, man, it'd be difficult to put that above anything else. Those first 7 episodes were just an absolute ride. and I just the most fun viewing experience from the MCU perspective. I think it's why the 8th episode is such a bummer to me. It really hurts my feelings is how I'd say it. There's no other way of saying it. I'm like, I had so much fun.
You could
And
say
I really enjoyed the ride.
that the episode 8 was the Mephisto of WandaVision episodes.
Sure.
Ooh.
But
Some
that would have
could say
been a
that.
better ending than for episode 8 than what we got.
So you don't think so? Like, okay, but you don't think like the ending where we see her just Scarlet Witching it up, like that pays dividends to what we're going to get with Doctor Strange?
No, because that was where we were going, and we knew it. We knew that she was coming at that point into Doctor Strange, and so I think
Well,
for
we needed
me,
something to get us there.
but it goes to the conversation we had on our last episode. Check out episode 99 if you listen to this for the first time. You're nuts, but go ahead. On episode 99, I talked about this. I think all these Marvel shows have a real problem of they have to figure out they can't just like save the villain for the end. Every show is saving the villain for the end, or it's like, who's the power broker? Oh, it's Sharon Carter. This show teased it so well, it would have really paid off to have it be like a Loki end versus the ending we received. I really enjoyed it nonetheless, and I totally see why Mark put it at number 1, actually, because it was a ride. It was a true ride. Like the internet was buzzing about this show,
Yeah.
and
Max
I can't
says
speak more.
Mark was right.
Mark said it. His fingers
January
fell off
2nd,
his hand.
2022.
And then number 1 for me, Isaac Zane. We saw Spider-Man together. I'm
Oh my god.
blown away. Blown away. This movie. It's unbelievable. This movie's unbelievable. I cannot speak more highly of this movie.
Yeah.
The experience of seeing it with people that are screaming at the right parts and then shutting up for the rest of the movie. You can't ask for a better crowd than the one we had, Isaac and Zane.
That was
Poor Jarrett.
We had the best crowd. Jared, I know you had a really bad crowd your first time, but like we had the perfect crowd.
Freaking 5.8.
So I just really liked that experience. And honestly, I knew it would be good. I did not know it would be rock your socks off Lady Gaga style. So those are my Infinity Gems for the year.
Yeah.
So like the experience of No Way Home?
Yeah.
That was the moment.
Yeah. So the moment of No Way Home. Got it.
Just the 2.5 hours. I haven't seen it since, but I don't. Part of me is like, I don't want to go back and do it again because the first time was so special. It was so special to me. One of my favorite MCU experiences of seeing a movie with some of my favorite people on the planet. So, and Holly was there.
And Holly also was.
And Holly.
Gosh,
Fair.
I think she's probably not listening anymore. But
Rude.
all right,
Runs into the room.
how dare you?
Isaac, you drink my coffee.
Classic. All right, Jarrett, why don't you go ahead with your
Hold on,
top
time
six?
out. Hold on, time out. I do have to shout out one thing in chat quick. Matt makes a great point when he said one of the best moments of the show this year was when he said the power broker was going to be 50 Cent. That was
Oh my
awesome.
gosh.
That was so
Gosh,
good. Great
that
bit.
had
Thank you for bringing that
happened.
up, Matt. That was
gosh.
so funny. That was brilliant.
Been incredible.
Awesome. Great moment. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
All right, Jarrett, go for it.
Yeah, so my honorable mentions, obviously, since we're all talking about the most important parts of 2021, I'm also going to shout out my amazing wife because I'm a fantastic husband, and I couldn't get through my Infinity Gems without doing that. So, Christian, if you're listening, I love you. You're amazing. Poor Mark. Other honorable mentions, 2021 was the year of Jeffrey the Land Shark. If you haven't been following Marvel, there is an adorable little land shark named Jeffrey. Check him out. Everything with the X-Men, especially Marauders, is chef's kiss on point. Bowser's Fury came out this year. That was fantastic. Great DLC. But getting into my top 6 Infinity Gems in proper, number 6 is Pokemon Unite. Zane hit it right on the head. This was phenomenal. It was a highly accessible MOBA and a fantastic IP. Well designed. I continue to play it. My boys play it all the time. Number 5 was It Takes Two. This did win Game of the Year. I don't know how. I think it was good. I don't think it was the best game that came out this year. It was definitely one of the best games I played this year. But it definitely deserved a spot on my top 6.
Do you think that it won Game of the Year just because we're so far away from like couch co-op games that people like don't know that feeling anymore? So they're like, we finally got a couch co-op and it was amazing, and now they're like, game of the year.
I will say this, yeah, and like the gameplay was phenomenal, and I think the way that they did co-op, and this team did, gosh, what was the game that they did before this with the two brothers escaping from jail?
A Way Out.
Oh,
A Way Out. Okay. They learned all the lessons that they had from that and made it better. My only gripe, literally my only gripe with this game is the story can be rough. And like,
It's
I'm not going to spoil it, but it is
heavy.
rough. There's some parts that really, really irritated me, but otherwise the gameplay was phenomenal. My number 4 is Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. It was a crossover between D&D and Magic, something I had been waiting for forever. Tying
got me back into
well.
Magic, man.
Yeah, dude, it was phenomenal. And like, they started to really, really lean into the secret layer drops, which brought in like, I can't remember if Walking Dead was this year or not, but gave us some really off the wall stuff. And they're continuing to do better and better products for secret layer drops. My number 3 is a dual joint. It is Moon Knight and Magic, and the reason I put those together is those comics are currently being written by Jed McKay, and he is knocking it out of the park with both. If you aren't following the stuff that Jed McKay is doing right now in comics, he is killing it. I think Magic is Image or IDW. Somebody correct me on that. And then Moon Knight is obviously Marvel. Jed McKay is a dude.
I believe it's IDW, but I can double check.
I think, yeah, you might be right. Number 2 is King in Black. This comic run, oh my gosh! If you guys aren't reading this,
It's so good, dude.
it's so good, guys.
It's so good.
Go read it, check it out. If you're even remotely a fan of Venom, this is a must read. And my number 1, which surprised me, it was phenomenal last year and just continues to get better. Chip Darsky's Daredevil is doing some stuff in the Marvel universe that I was not prepared for. Continues to pay off in spades. Fantastic. If you're a Marvel Comics fan at all, even a little bit, if you like Daredevil, if you like the Netflix series, go check this out. It's a 6 out of 6.
Nice. There we go. Good list. All right. So I will close it off with my list here. I think so. I've just got one honorable mention, and it's that like all of this happened this year, including like my desk and my PC that I won from Pastor Susie, my PS5 that I was able to purchase this year. Like all of this has happened and so fast, and like it's just so cool to be able to do this with all of you guys and to be on, you know, the Infinity Bros Twitch stream talking to the Infinity Bros universe. Like, man, it's been awesome. And I also would like to shout out my incredible wife, Holly, who has graciously spent lots of money on me for this setup, because she does not, you know, spend money on herself a lot of times, and so she sacrifices for my, you know, all of the hobbies that I'm into, which is a stinking ton. So yeah, she is amazing. So thank you, Holly. I love you very much. Now on to my list. Number 6 is also Bo Burnham's Inside. I put that on my gems because it seemed like more than just a movie. Like it was like an experience, and so many people were talking about it when it came out, and it really is just like, you know, like not many times in mainstream media are actors vulnerable, and Bo Burnham just like showed that in such an incredible way through this special. And I don't think there was one moment this whole summer that we were not singing White Woman's Instagram. So like that's got to count for something.
We sang it so much at the 4th of July getaway.
So much.
Oh my gosh.
My beautiful wife, Kelly, was like, you cannot sing that anymore. Otherwise, I'm going to hate that song. So,
This is heaven.
Or is it just a why? Okay.
Woman.
Woman.
Yeah, so good. So, yeah. So that was
Our wives had to hate us.
absolutely
We sang that the entire
way too
weekend.
much, way too much. So yeah,
It was awesome.
That was my number 6. My number 5, I have a couple video games on here. My number 5, and I think I'm going to group these two together. Both the Dark Pictures anthology House of Ashes, which is the newest video game, and Operation Tango. Both I was able to play with Zane on stream on the Infinity Rose Twitch stream this year, and it was a blast. Both games were a blast. Operation Tango was a nice, fun little puzzler that like required a ton of teamwork and stuff, and then the Dark Pictures game. Zane, I don't know what you felt about this one, but I felt like this is very close to my favorite one. I think Man of Medan is probably still my favorite, but like House of Ashes was
very
incredible.
good.
It was very good.
Very
It
good.
comes very close to my favorite Dark Pictures game, and it's fun to do that with somebody. So thank you, Zane. I appreciate
Absolutely.
you.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's my number 5. My number 4 is also King in Black. Jarrett, this series was phenomenal. I love Venom as a character. He's one of my favorite comic book characters, and man, he is used so well in this series. If you guys have not read this comic series, you need to get on it right now. Marvel Unlimited, I think the whole series is on there, so definitely worth spending $10 for 1 month to binge it all. It's a fantastic series, and man, yeah, just definitely check that one out. Number 3 is a video game, one that I didn't really expect to be on any list for me. It was Hades. It's a roguelike game, and generally I'm not a huge fan of those games because the progress thing is just I don't like games that I can't collect everything and save everything. Like Skyrim was my jam, where I could just load everything into my house and I just had everything. And these games, like, you die and you go back to the beginning. And some of them are different variations. You can like collect some permanent like skills and attributes and stuff, but this game is phenomenal. The storyline is amazing, which I think a lot of roguelikes are kind of light on the story, and the storyline in this is fantastic, and it is on Game Pass, which is how I got to experience it. So definitely check that out. Great game. And then my number 2 is also a video game, Guardians of the Galaxy. We've already talked about it a little bit. This is such a sleeper game, guys. Like I didn't buy this on purpose right away because I thought like $60 for just a single player like game. Yeah, it would be fun, I'm sure, but like Marvel's Avengers was such a letdown for so many people that I was kind of like, I don't know if I want to blow, $60 on this game if I'm not going to like it a lot. So I waited until it went on sale, and I bought it when it was, $30, which I'm glad I did because this game is amazing. I
Definitely worth it.
I absolutely love how they are developing the Guardians in this game. Like, they kind of base the characters off of the MCU versions of the Guardians of the Galaxy, but they develop the characters like better than they do in the movies, which is pretty wild for a game to do that. And the storyline so far, I haven't finished it yet, but the storyline so far is awesome, and the gameplay is just really fun, and the music is incredible. Like, they take the whole 80s vibe from 70s and 80s vibe from the movies and insert it right into this game, and it plays such a huge part in it. It's so much fun.
Yeah, the whole Star-Lord band thing is so much fun. Like, I love just exploring like his room just at the beginning of the game. Like, game is a huge sleeper.
Yeah.
It's what Marvel's Avengers should have been.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so much better than Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, definitely would recommend checking that one out when it goes on sale as well. And my number 1, is the same as Max's, really. It's Spider-Man No Way Home. Really, it's Spider-Man. Like, wow, it has been a good year to be a Spider-Man fan. We got No Way Home, and spoilers, obviously we got Spider-Man coming back from the grave, which nobody thought was possible. We got a trailer for Across the Spider-Verse coming next year. We got a new trailer for Spider-Man 2, the Marvel Spider-Man 2, the PS5 exclusive game that's going to be coming out in 2023, which is still far away, but the trailer was sick and got me super hyped. We got an announcement that we're going to get another Spider-Man animated show on Disney Plus. Like, there's so much Spider-Man content that is coming out, and all of it is fantastic so far. And No Way Home was just wow. It blew my mind in just an incredible way. I had high expectations for this, and I did have some reservations because, with a movie this big, like, man, you have to just play it perfectly to get a good reception. And everybody loves this movie. Like, critically, it's at Rotten Tomatoes, it's like 95%, and the audience score is like 99%. Like, it's wild how like universally loved this movie is. Everybody loves it, and I absolutely love it. It's probably my favorite MCU movie now. Just fantastic. So, and the whole hype Spider-Man stuff that went along with that, like, the internet is just exploding, with Spider-Man stuff right now, and I love it. I love it as a Spider-Man fan. It's amazing. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say, guys. 2021 was a phenomenal year. We are so excited to, we're looking forward to 2022. Hopefully we got, more big things coming, more guests on the podcast, more Twitch streams, more content for all of you guys. And we're so thankful that all of you guys have been a part of the Infinity Bros universe. And just, yeah, I mean, anything that you guys want to say about 2021 in general, or moving on to 2022, or do we want to just kick off this Infinity Gauntlet giveaway?
No, I
want to thank.
Yeah.
I want to just thank Kelly. I think Kelly's great, and I know that I think Mark should have thanked her, and he didn't. So I just want to thank.
Really
Kelly
weird that. Yeah. I also want to thank Kelly.
We appreciate you, and I hope Mark appreciates you.
Thank you so much.
How beautiful you are.
My new number one moment was August 17th.
Oh, boy.
Beautiful day.
Here we go.
That
set the mood.
That started.
Yeah.
The new between Kelly and I, and our due date from August 17th to May 5th will come full circle, and the newest Infinity Little One will be coming soon.
There it is.
Like
Little One. Yep.
Just like me in August 17th.
Love it.
Awesome.
Well,
lovely.
Yeah.
I got one more giveaway.
You got one more giveaway? Let's do this one in the chat here. Okay. Last chance. You got like about 15 seconds to enter !ticket1 in chat before we draw this.
Do it.
And this is for, again, the Infinity Rose gift box. It's got some Rick and Morty figures, South Park figure, a Infinity Bros snapback baseball cap, and a BB-8 3D model. So
jealous.
Yeah, lots of stuff in that one. So
make sure you enter that.
Here we go.
Baby,
let's get a drum roll in chat, and we'll close it, and we will draw a winner now.
Leathernator.
Wow, Leathernator has a call, man.
Let someone else win stuff. Jeez.
You and Matt have been just taking home all the prizes.
At least you know where to send it, right?
They can't win the gauntlet. Like, that won't be fair.
There's a ton of people in on this gauntlet giveaway, dude.
Oh, that's right.
If they win the gauntlet.
If Matt wins that gauntlet, I'll happily take it from him.
Yeah, I would be absolutely shocked if they won that.
Gosh, that would be great. Could you imagine if
one
of those two took it home tonight?
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So last thing we have to do is this Infinity. Do you want to do anything else before this gauntlet giveaway, guys?
I got one more giveaway.
One more giveaway? All right, we got
one more segment in the Win Mark Jones's Toys.
Please.
All
right.
Can I join?
Yes, you can. So the last question to win the Peter B. Parker Marvel
this one's spicy,
toy.
Guys. This one's spicy.
All right. What does the B in Peter B. Parker stand for?
Ooh. Seems like I know it, but I can't say it.
I don't know. I don't know. Is it Bacon?
It's Bacon. It's actually Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Excuse me?
So then I got it again.
The same two people again.
Yeah.
You guys. Okay.
You guys.
Gosh, you guys.
Just by default, I feel like we should give those luchador pops to Neil, since he was like kind of close, because Matt has gotten so many wins.
Gosh. Oh, cheese and crackers, Elliot.
Benny.
Bro.
It's bro.
Scott.
Definitely bro.
Beaker. Bruh.
From what I found on my search in the internet, it is Benjamin. That is what I.
Baby Yoda. I like that. Bling bling.
So are we Leathernator? We're giving
Batista.
that to Leathernator.
He said it first.
All
That's
right,
what it was.
Leathernator.
I mean, I have Benjamin/Ben, so you know.
He was first anyway.
He's getting a boatload of prizes from this stream. Good for you.
Good for you.
Leathernator and
Zane, why has your room gotten darker the longer we go?
Because it's
The
nighttime.
witches.
Zane,
It was nighttime when we
It was
started.
nighttime when we start. Yeah, exactly.
All right,
So
guys.
guys, when the sun goes
approaching-
down, it gets nighter.
We're approaching the witching hour.
Dark.
More
Snyder, it's
Our-
Snyder out.
We are going to
There's not
spin
enough moon
the
night out there.
big wheel.
Hey, that was a
I'm gonna
bit, guys. I just
transition
want.
here.
Isaac,
I
real quick.
agree with Leathernator. Everyone,
That was a bit.
Yeah,
Oh, that
Leathernator's
one was
right.
good.
It's
Oh,
the
thank
it's
you.
the fight.
everyone should gift 5 subs, and then you have a better chance of winning. I think
Okay,
that's how it
so
works.
this wheel is huge. We have like I
Oh.
believe around 70 people on
Nice.
this wheel, and there's like 3 or 4 people that have slightly bigger wedges because they both rated it on Apple Podcasts and on Podchaser.
I hope Lindsay does not win it.
Yeah, Lindsay's
I don't
on
want
there.
Lindsay to win it.
Yep,
Oh,
Lindsay's
gosh,
on there. We've
Lindsay.
got Potato
Ralph
Lady on
Boner
there.
wins it.
Yeah, Ralph Boner's on
It's on
there.
a format.
Screw Ralph Boner.
I love all these people are deserving. They took their time and went to our podcast and rated
Not
it.
Lindsay.
You're on
I don't
there.
know who
You're
Lin-
on there. I put
don't know
your
who Lindsay
actual
is.
name on there, Matt. I don't know if you had a screen name or not, but all right, ready to
Chase
spin?
is on there too.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Geek
Hold on,
Devotion.
stop.
Wait,
I can't see
Can't
it.
stop it.
too
Geek
late.
Devotion.
It already,
Oh, yeah, I see it.
it already
You're good.
happened.
Stop it.
Geek
Geek
Devotions is the
Devotions.
winner for our
Congrats.
Infinity Gauntlet giveaway. How about
Oh, I
that?
didn't.
Oh.
That's so fun.
He rocks. He's a regular member
let's
of the
see.
stream.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a look at this. Oh, I'm accidentally spinning it again. This one doesn't count. Tony T is the winner of the fake.
Oh,
Don't let it be
Tony's
Lindsay.
gonna
Don't let it be Lindsay.
Tony's gonna be so mad.
Look at all the names though. We got Caleb, Andrew, Tomer, Geek Devotions, Howlett Fox Moon, Space Hobo, Leathernator. Oh gosh, I can't name all these. Like some of these are like
I know pre-show Isaac's fear was, what if it's someone we don't know and then we can't find?
yeah,
Yeah.
like there are like probably 10 or 15 of these names who I have no idea who they are. Like they could just be some random internet fiend, and here we are giving them
a
a gauntlet. So yeah,
That's what we do now.
yeah, that's what we do.
Oh,
All
we're
right.
2-timing it.
Yeah, I'm
like this.
I'm getting rid of that. Hold on, sorry.
No. 8 of
Yeah,
us is
sorry,
better.
the winner is
Or sorry,
Zane's
12 of us is better.
Bay 69420.
That's so Zay doesn't have to sign it
Yeah.
in his blood.
Yeah.
Well, it's already on there.
All right.
I still don't remember this blood part.
Oh, you don't have to worry about it. I already have it.
Yeah, he's got it.
Well,
Yeah.
guys,
I
I'd say a
extracted
successful
everyone's blood
stream,
on
like-
the 4th of July.
thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate all of you so much. Robbie, you got any push-ups in you?
I got
To
push-ups
end
I
the
gotta
stream
do
out?
apparently.
Okay.
I guess.
All right, Geek Devotions is the winner of the Infinity Gauntlet giveaway. Matt Leathers and Matt Williams, man, you guys are taking home tons of prizes. We'll see about the other prize potentially going to Neil. And yeah, man, got lots of cool stuff going on.
Big shout out to Leathernator for he gifted 5 subs tonight. That's huge.
Yeah, awesome.
Really appreciate that.
Yeah, so cool. And then Good Morning Guys also won some Star Wars Funko Pops too. So congratulations to all the winners. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna flip it over to each one of you guys to say something about 2021. Looking forward to 2022. Starting off with Zane, because we all need to hear from Zane.
More Zane.
We all need more Zane in our lives.
We do.
And well, yeah, especially
Yes.
in 2022.
Yeah,
But not too much, because I am
Alright.
the enigma of the show. So just a
Yeah.
little
yeah, we
bit.
can't give away too
Okay.
much. You're right.
That's no, I'm excited to get into a new year and get new shenanigans with you guys, and hope to just keep this thing rolling.
All right.
That was it.
That's
I think
it.
that was it.
All right. Okay.
There we go.
Sounds good.
Profound.
Very profound. Mark, What do you have for us for the Infinity Bros
I'm
universe?
just grateful to have you five guys be such good friends. No matter what we all say to each other, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, we're still friends no matter what. Because our love perseveres. 3,000.
Wow, it's a nice amalgamation of quotes there.
That was profound.
It's beautiful.
Nice amalgamation of quotes.
I like
Welcome to
that.
the Infinity Bros podcast.
Put that on a shirt.
It's a nice
Beautiful.
amalgamation of quotes.
This is an amalgamation of quotes.
This show is an amalgamation of quotes.
All right, Jarrett, what do you have to say to the Infinity Bros universe?
Blood alone moves the wheels of history. Have you asked yourselves in an hour of meditation, which everyone finds during the day, how long have we been striving for greatness? No, I'm not gonna do those.
It's like, wow, how long are you going to keep this up?
It is this is a long speech.
Jarrett, was that a bit?
It was. Oh, sorry. Yeah, shoot. And it should have been
come
funny,
on.
right?
Come on.
Sorry.
My bad.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Honestly, guys, this year has been fantastic. I've had probably one of the roughest years in recent history, and it is through the friendship of the Infinity Bros, the friendship of you guys, our chat, that has helped us get through some very hard times. But 2022 is looking better. Things are turning up, and as our Twitch stream continues to improve, so will hopefully all of this. And we look forward to another 100 episodes with you guys in this incredible cast.
Thank you, Jarrett. Robbie,
Beautiful.
what do you got for us?
Everyone said it. Like, whoa, Leathernator. Quit it.
He's just paying us for all the shipping
Just
we're gonna have to do
tipped us
to his house.
$250. Apparently, yeah. Send that to Mark.
It's amazing. Thank you, Leathernator. You're awesome, dude.
You know, started this year trying to do more Twitch streaming. I think we've done more Twitch streaming this year than we've done any other year, obviously. I'm not sure how many episodes we got out of the podcast this year, but we did quite a few. I think we're hitting like 50 or more a year probably at this point. So I'm just really appreciative of all of you guys, all six of you. Yes, even Zane. You're all awesome. I love doing this stuff with you. I hope that we can continue to do this and hopefully grow this thing even more. And then I just love our community and our engagement with them. I know we suck sometimes when it comes to like our Discord chat and really being involved in the community, which we're working on. But I really appreciate everyone that comes to our streams, and a lot of the people that are in our streams are like always in our streams. So like Co-op, Fox, Co-op, who will be King Amos. We gotta make that specification.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of guys like that are just always here. You turn it on, you always have a couple viewers, because sometimes to Twitch stream sometimes is kind of a daunting task when no one's watching. So I really appreciate the people that are always there, even if it's just a few. So big thank you to them. Big thank you to Isaac and Max. I think they probably do the most when it comes to what we do for the Infinity Bros. So big shout out to you guys. Other than that, yeah, 100 episodes. Let's do like 100 more and see where we're at then.
Let's go. Let's do it. Max, why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, doggone it. Very, very sweet and touching things. I would echo all those things. 2021 as a year was dreadful in the context of just specific things that happened in my life, specific things that have happened in the lives of the six of us. There's been some significant joys as well in those lives. But I would not call it any. I'm not bummed to see 2021 go. I'm like, okay, see ya. But there were some exciting moments and incredible, exhilarating moments, especially in the context of this community, as Robbie said. This is our 100th episode, but we've had 113 episodes. We've had some bonus episodes. We had, I think, back to the first time that Robbie and I sat down and talked about
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, and just how we've stumbled and bumbled along the way.
Yeah.
But have gathered some buddies along the way, and we're averaging, a ton of more listeners per episode than I ever thought we could do. So we're thankful for that, and thankful for I'm excited for me for this year because I got a gaming PC, and Isaac was sitting today fiddling with it because I know nothing about Twitch, but I'm committed to trying this bad boy out and being part of it and joining the community because you guys just have so much fun. I hope Scott doesn't join the show and talk to me, but he probably will. So I'm looking forward to that as a resolution of being on the Twitch community more and spending more time with these people. Extreme gratitude to these 5. I just love doing it because I love doing it with these 5.
Oh yeah.
Don't really care past that. Especially grateful to Kelly. I think Kelly really didn't get enough gratitude from Mark, so I just want to make sure she gets a shout out. And his beautiful wife, Kelly, forgive me. But really, honestly, like the podcast part is just such a joy to me. It's in my job, I don't get to sometimes see the fruit of the labors I put in. So it's nice to see something get accomplished in my life. That's a task. So I don't know how Isaac feels on that being a nurse, but that's how I feel. So it's nice and cathartic at times to get it done. So thank you. If you took time even once this year to listen to an episode, if you're listening to this episode right now on a podcast platform,
Or 30 years in the future.
or decades in the future, yeah. I just want to extend gratitude. Just like thank you for investing your time. You could do a lot of other things with your time. There are literally thousands of podcasts you could do, and to choose our podcast as part of your cycle. Like for me, I only have 6 that I listen to outside of ours. That means a lot. So thank you. And our hope is that we will continue to get better. My hope is that you will not get the same opinions that these 5 are going to give you. You're going to actually get good quality opinions, and that's what I'm here for. And I'm gonna make sure that these 5 are held accountable for their poor opinions. You have my word on that. So.
Says the guy that hates Dune.
Says the
Dune
guy
sucked.
that we all have to keep accountable.
Dune sucked. Dune was awful.
Yeah, dude.
It's the worst take.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time coming up with words of like how thankful I am for all of you guys and for this community that we have built over the past few years. All this started with basically Zane and Robbie and Max like just talking about nerdy stuff in a group chat. And it's wild to think that it's come to this point of, us streaming on Twitch and having a legit podcast. And I mean, we hit 10,000 downloads this year with the podcast. We had 4 of our highest months this year with the podcast download wise. And it's just humbling and honoring that you guys all are a part of this community. So thank you all so much. Like, for real. Thank you guys, 3,000.
For reals.
For reals. It is just wild to think that people are listening to us just ramble about nerdy stuff on a podcast. So, yeah, I mean, thank you guys again.
Black and white.
Yes.
I don't know. Like, he's got some weird stuff.
It's very dark.
Zack Snyder.
Like the darkness is like
Zack Snyder cut.
the darkness is like collapsing around him.
I'm just envisioning being somebody that listens to our podcast right now, just listening to us all talk over each other. It's just got to be
fine.
Oh yeah.
They're fine.
Yeah, it's always wild. It's always.
I have night sweats.
But I would not. I mean, I'm so thankful to be here with all of you guys and with the Infinity Bros universe. Thank you guys so much for making us a part of your podcast experience or your Twitch stream experience. Literally, wherever you guys hang out with us, we appreciate you so much. So, well, guys, that is it for our 100th episode. I think doing this live was a treat to get to hang out with the Infinity Bros universe. So if you're listening later on podcast app of your choice, make sure to come and check out the Infinity Bros Twitch stream to be able to hang out with us and see our faces. But yeah, that's important to us. So thank you guys so much for being a part of the Infinity Bros universe. We love you 3000. Have an amazing night.
Are we gonna let's raid somebody?
Yeah, we should raid somebody. I'm gonna turn on the ending screen and should we do that? Here. I'm going to turn on the music just for the ending of the podcast episode, and then we'll
do it.
Love you guys 3000. Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Check.
I don't know what's happening.
You guys
Cut the
can
check.
hear this, can you? It's just
Cut the
music.
check.
No, we can't hear anything.
Love it.
Let's rate Dr. Hales. He's playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
Isaac, make sure you're gonna have to edit this one.
Oh, yeah.
I got this.
Got it? You got the raid?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's doing some of them, Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know what it's doing. It's like looking at Dungeons and Dragon pictures. Might
I
have had
think
a
they're
few
playing Dungeons and Dragons, so
I don't know what he's doing.
All right,
All right.
boys.
love you 3000, everybody.
Oh yeah, they're
I'm
playing
going
Dungeons and
I'm going to bed.
Alright.
to the hotel.
Yeah,
Sleep
same.
warm.
All right.
Love you
Let's
guys.
go
See ya.
over to.
All right, bye.
I
Love you
love
guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye.